I'm a firm believer. Everything's competitive.
Sports, in my opinion, teach discipline. They teach you to be on time. They teach you to work hard.
Yep.
Right? When did you believe or think that you wanted to be a shooting coach?
I build relationships with these people, you know? It's bigger than basketball.
Because you want to be the coaches that make everyone better.
I want to be the coach that I didn't have that I wanted.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. If you have a fucking passion in your life and that's what you chase, there's nothing more beautiful than that. And I'm driving in the rain and it's all surreal as happening. And I just broke down and cried. And I was just like, dude, I've reached my dream. I wrote in my freaking journal, train NBA players.
Yeah.
Train NBA players. And it just like happened.
What makes you a good coach, bro? Like, why do you think people decide to choose you instead of anyone else?
I'm fucking real. I'm real. I just like, I'll say something and it may not make them happy, but at the end of the workout, they'll know.
Who's the GOAT of basketball?
Oh, I would say,
Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you have received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bringing the most creative and talented humans in the world. And taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having me on, dude. I'm excited, bro.
I'm excited too. See what we got. We got Carajillo right there. Have you like it? I know you said you like your espresso martini, bro.
That tastes better. What's all in that?
I mean, I switched out the tequila for whiskey because we already drank whiskey earlier.
Right.
But if you ever had Liquor 43, it's like a vanilla, like caramel, like a liquor. I mean, like a liqueur. Do you know what a liqueur is compared to like a liquor?
Yeah, it's different.
No, okay, so it's basically like a less alcoholic. So like there's a tequila, vodka, gin, whiskey, like that's the main spirit. But a liqueur would be like something that has less alcohol, but a sweeter like flavor. So there's like
that taste.
Yeah, so there's like a hazelnut vanilla liqueur in here.
Smooth, dude.
Yeah,
that is
like
nice.
It, bro.
I like that.
You
Can I order that at a bar next time?
Carajillo? Yeah,
Carajillo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly like Mexican places, but most places will know, especially if it's like higher end. Because you know, like as you know, West Side cocktails are like $25.
Crazy, dude. and they're barely poured. You're like, I'm 1.5 in. I'm looking at my tab, dude. There's no point to even drink after that. Like, it's.
Are you a lover of making cocktails, or work as a career or part-time bartender? If so, mix like a pro with A Bar Above. A Bar Above has the best mixing tools on the market, from shakers and strainers to mallets and ice picks. A Bar Above has you covered with all your cocktail needs. Use code BILTZ, BILTZ, for 10% off any order. Did you save a lot of money when you went 75 hard?
Yeah, I did. I saved a lot of it. You know, it was a great experience for sure. I mean, I think, you know, being in high school, being in college, being an athlete, you're around parties, you drink, you know, it's something that you kind of get used to.
Yeah.
And when I went without it 75, I did in the summer.
Did you do it all 75 days?
I did all 75 days, dude. And I literally did it in the summer.
First, you did the 2 workouts, you did the reading, you did everything?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Oh, you hesitated, bro.
Not like the reading, but like, dude, journaling, water. You know, I picked up an activity. I learned to surf. Like,
what did journaling do for you?
Oh my gosh, journaling is life-changing. Because I'm an open book, you know, my thoughts spill whatever I say.
Yeah.
And journaling, like, I just write my thoughts down. It helps me put my thoughts somewhere.
Yeah.
It helps me write out my goals, what I want to accomplish. Like, it's helped.
What's your journaling process? Do you just like spit out word vomit, like everything that you think?
Yeah, I have like 3 different journals right now.
Okay.
So I have one where I just is like, this pissed me off. Okay, I want to train this player next week. Cold plunging went amazing. All right, time to meal prep. Don't have too many drinks, and I just like hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Then I have a journal that has like daily affirmations, and it's like, this is what I'm grateful for. This is what I hope will make today better. And if I don't journal for like a couple days, I'm like, I go stir crazy.
Yeah.
And then I go and I catch up and I write in this summary.
So what's your process for journaling? Like, do you go into all those separate 3 like on different times of the day, or is it just like intuition?
Mostly mornings.
Okay.
Yeah, or at night. You know, I try
like
to
for
finish
all
it.
of them?
Yeah, lately this new one I do morning and then I do night.
What does it do for you? Because like, I guess for me, I don't have the affirmations. Like I do the word vomit, like whatever, like
That's
I write
great,
down,
yeah.
and then I'll look back at a few months later and be like, oh, that guy was going through some shit, or like he was having a good time, you know, or
Right.
like it's just like living your life in the future, you know?
Yes, or living your life in the journal. And I think...
What's your meditative process?
Oh, man, cold plunge, dude.
Cold plunge.
I love it, yeah.
What do you like about the cold plunge?
Right away, if you work out a lot, your body's hurt, so your body's craving, you know, to heal. And then you get in that cold water and you're shocked. And you can't panic. You're like, all right, I have to breathe through where I don't feel this anymore. And then you learn to control your breath. So, like, for me...
What's your breathing like?
When I do cold plunge, I'll breathe out, you know, like deep breaths for like probably 20 seconds.
Do you do in through your nose, out through your mouth, or is it just kind of like...
Kind of just go with the flow, dude. I've done that. Have you tried breath work? Those sound bowls and
a little bit,
and then all of a sudden you're hallucinating.
I don't know if it works.
Whoa,
do you think it works?
Bro, yeah. Listen, you know, they're playing the drums and they're doing this.
I did one and I kind of was spooked out, bro.
Spooked, dude. And then
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's these sound baths, sound healing, that they use this like rod and they put it around like pots or like whatever it is. And it's like,
kumbaya shit.
Like some culty ass shit.
It is, and everyone's all locked in, but then you feel better. Yeah. You know, but some of this
But do you feel better because everyone else around you feels better? Or do you feel better because the science of the sound healing is making you feel better?
I think the science of the sound healing, because you're taking your breath to another level. They're making you hold your shit like you're doing core work. You're like, and you're thinking of stuff. It's like, it's different, man.
Have you had any problems sleeping or snoring? If so, hostage tape could be your answer. Mouth taping and only nasal breathing has shown to prevent snoring and offset sleep apnea. It brings more oxygen to the brain, gives more aesthetically pleasing craniofacial features, and improves your overall cardiovascular health. Give it a try at www.hostagetape.com and use code NATE49486 for 10% off.
I love the cold plunge because I work out hard. I train out constantly training hours.
What does working out do for you?
It boosts my metabolism. It just makes me feel good about myself. Moving weight, you know, you get that stress out.
Do you miss I guess the type of training for basketball? Is that why you do it as well?
Yeah. I think you hit it right on the head right there. Yeah, like that competitive nature. Yeah. You know, like substituting it with lifting now. And that's the thing in LA, and it's how you meet people in the community, and I love it. Like, why do you work out? Why do you go and walk miles in your sandals?
I mean, one, it makes you feel good, but also it's like, it doesn't make me feel like a piece of shit. Like if
you're proud of yourself.
I'm proud of myself. I was like, I'm not a lazy piece of shit today. Because I feel like a lot of people demonize themselves like, I'm not good enough, this and that, blah, blah. But if you do a hard workout, if you do a hard run, if you do a long run, if you do the journaling or the meditation or the cold plunge, you're like, oh, like that is objective proof that you're not a pussy.
No, you're committing to yourself.
You're like, you're doing hard things. And what do hard things do? They make you stronger. They make you more mentally tough. You know what I'm saying?
Because just think, if you jump in cold ass water every day, things like your dog going to the bathroom on the floor and you wanting to panic and freak out, you're used to harder things. You know, or
it doesn't faze you.
No, getting a flat tire or say something that someone pisses you off and tries to get a reaction. You're like, I'm in the cold tub.
Yeah, I don't get pissed off much anymore. Do you?
No, dude, it helped me so much.
Like when people honk at me on the road, bro, I'm just like, are you okay? Yeah, I just wave. Like, are you good?
I'm still working on the road rage a little bit. Like yesterday, dude.
LA traffic's different.
Driving in Sunset, I was in a right lane. There was a parked car and there was an AMG next to me. Yeah. And I tried to get past him and he raced me and I had to slam on my brakes. Damn. And I followed his ass down the...
Are you serious?
Not like followed him, but like
he followed his ass, guys.
No, he got his license plate. I've really worked on it. And honestly, like with my trainings with my kids, they've noticed. They're like, you're so mellow now. I'm like, yeah, because I jump in cold water every day.
It's not just that, bro. Like especially looking at it from your videos, it's like uber positive energy. Like I'm feeling it. Yeah. Like I feel it through the video, bro.
Thank you.
Like you're like, it's just like upbeat, this and that. And I think that's something that makes every good coach great. Or like makes every great coach great. It's like the positive energy, consistency of like that cadence of tone. Because there's a lot of coaches out there who are like negative, you know, like what the fuck are you doing though? This and that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it's very constructive criticism that you do quick and on the spot.
No, I really appreciate that. And I've kind of learned like shooting is like psychology in a way. For an example, if I go and I walk into this big arena and I change this person's shot, right?
Yeah.
And it feels so uncomfortable because of the fundamentals. And they're trusting me, trying it, and they miss a couple. And I'm like, all right, you know what? You got to get 6 in a row to get out the drill. Got to get 6 in a row. And what I do is I give them positive psychology in it. Like, all right, you got it. Like, keep holding your follow through. Just giving them the confidence to believe that they can shoot that way.
What's the longest streak that you've had like a coaching kid like go?
28 in a row, 26 in a row. Yeah, dude. I had the president of the 49ers' daughter. It's like a little sister of mine. Amazing. Such a hard worker. She rounded off 24 in a row from the top of the key. What? And it was like on a Nest cam. Like I wasn't even filming it at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I checked in with the building. I was like, hey, can you get that Nest cam access? She hit 24 in a row from the top of the key. You know, but then I've seen a guy like Travis Perry in Kentucky. Guy's like 5'11", and he goes from the block to the corner and he just rounds off 20 in a row. And what I'm doing is I'm passing them. I'm giving them confidence. I'm keeping them in rhythm. And I'm looking at little things in their jump shot, which I'm like, all right, that next one, if he overturns a little bit, he's going to miss it.
Yeah.
Let's keep him straight. And I remind them to keep their feet straight. I remind them to keep their shoulders straight. And then they're just like, and then when they're in rhythm, I just hype them up.
That's great.
And I give them confidence.
Yep. Because that's the biggest thing, right?
A shooter has to have confidence.
Yeah.
100%.
So if this girl is doing 24-20, right, how many can, like, Steph do?
Yeah, Steph's hitting at least 50 in a row. And then this is what's crazy is he'll, like when I was with the Warriors a couple weeks ago, I asked one of them, he was doing like 10 in a row, 20 in a row, 15 in a row. Then he starts shooting bank shots.
Yeah.
From like out of bounds, high in the glass. And I asked him, like, do you do that for rhythm? He's like, no, it's just because I get bored. Like, it's just, and I was like, where'd you learn that? He's like, Steph. Yeah. And you learn because a lot of shooting is an eye. You look at Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah.
That girl for Iowa shoots it from the logo. And she barely even uses her legs, but she'll be here, she'll find the rim, and it's up. And her confidence and her mentality to do that is on another level.
Before we continue, this episode is brought to you by Brute Fitness Seltzers. Get your full serving of BCAAs with the caffeine boost for your workouts or simple daily routines. Use code BILTZ20 for 20% off your next order. Okay, you know? I don't know basketball too well, bro. Like, if you had to describe like how to shoot a basketball, like or make a shot, like what is the fundamentals for like making a basketball shot from the ground up to someone who doesn't know?
Yes, 100%. Like if you're teaching basketball and no one's ever watched or seen it, you do it by making them stay low like they're in a squat, right? Okay. Because shooting's 80% legs. It's just like sitting down, you go to the bathroom or sitting down to do a squat. So it's 80% legs. Your toes have to be faced at the rim, mostly if you want that ball to go straight.
Okay.
Because gravity is going to take you and turn you left, more and more if you're a righty shooter.
Okay.
Okay. So
why is gravity going to turn you left?
Because when you're holding that ball and you're trying to go shoot, naturally, like people are sometimes built with their feet out, right? And I have to make them turn their feet in. So what I teach is from the ground all the way up to your shoulders, to your toes, to your shoulders, nothing twists.
Yeah, basketball players always have that little, like, I don't know, like swag of like toes going in.
It kills me because then the kids come to the gym, they try to do that, and I'm like, dude, you missed left 5 times. I can't watch this. Stop watching the NBA. Straighten your freaking feet. And you know, like that's kind of how I was taught to shoot. Like I was
straight feet or inward.
Straight feet.
Straight feet.
Yeah, like it's toes. Because you want. Okay. Here's the thing. It relates to fitness. It relates to anything. You don't do a squat with your toes out.
No.
Because where are your knees going? Out. Right.
Yeah.
If your knees are straight and in and your toes are straight, everything's in line to work your hips all the way to your core, to your shoulders. And then what it comes down to is straightening that arm and just trying to make everything go middle.
Well, there's a lot of people who do squat with their toes 45 degrees out because they have bad hip mobility.
Hip mobility.
Yeah.
But, so there's a good point too.
Yeah.
Because like I'll take kids who are 4th grade, 3rd grade, and they can't even shoot from the elbow. And then 2 sessions
shoot from
later,
the elbow.
The elbow is like the 3-point line, and then the elbow right here. Because they're not strong enough, right?
Sure.
I tell their parents, I'm like, they'll be shooting a 3 in 2 sessions. And it's because I'm teaching them to use their legs that they don't know how to do.
Because it transfers the energy from their legs to the shot. Okay.
Yeah. Because then once your legs are through, all it is just locking your arm out, spreading your fingers.
Okay, so how you talked about the shot from the ground up. What about the technicality of the hands?
Oh man, it's everything because you want that ball to rotate.
Can you describe like the shot? Because again, I don't know too much about basketball.
Yeah, so like when you're shooting the ball, you're holding it like a pizza, like you're holding the ball like a pizza, like you're holding a tray because you want that lift, right? Like a cannonball. You want that lift for the ball to go up.
And is it true that like one hand, like you basically everyone shoots with kind of one hand and the other one's like a guiding hand?
Yes, a guide hand. But see, you do know the game. So the left hand, however much influence you get to make where you make that rhythm work, that's your feel.
So what does the other hand do?
It just keeps it protected, keeps that ball straight.
Okay.
If that hand goes too much,
so you don't do anything with it really.
No, there's some thumb flicks, right? And people use that for extra power.
Okay.
But if you overdo it, your ball's going left. Or you got side spin on your ball.
Okay.
So this left side is really just to try to keep everything in line from the left side of the rim.
Okay.
And
when you aim, is it with your left hand?
You aim with your right hand.
Okay, you aim with your right hand.
You line it up. Your shooting hand with the middle of the rim.
Yeah.
From where you're at on the court. And then when it comes to the guide hand, your goal is not to have as much influence in the guide hand. Your goal is to have it slide off so your ball goes backwards.
Okay.
So when it goes backwards, it goes fast to the rim, and if it hits the back of the rim, it's gonna spin and drop in. If your ball's going sideways, and it hits left side of the rim a little bit,
so you always
it's gonna keep going sideways.
So you always want the ball to go
backwards. Spin as fast as it can.
And like if it hits a certain part of the board, it has a tendency to fall back into the net.
If it goes high up and then rolls back.
Do you study like angles of like the board or like how it hits, or is it mostly just like you want players to like swish every single time?
Yeah, I want them to swish every time.
Okay.
100%. Like I study. What I'll do is I'll watch an NBA game and all I'll do is watch shooting and I'll watch misses.
Yeah.
And I just evaluate their misses.
Yeah.
And then I learn. Or like for an example,
why don't you want to pay attention to like backboard shots or?
That's a great question. Shot? You know, I think because the backboard, the bank shots, not so many of them use them anymore like they used to. Like MJ really used to shoot a lot of bank shots.
Yeah.
But you don't see it as much in the NBA now.
Why is that?
I think because they just think the accuracy of swishing the ball is just
better.
Yeah. Because it's exactly what you're aiming for. You know, I was always a fan of the bank shot.
But when you're doing a layup or like I guess like a mid shot or something like that,
big time.
They always do spin off like the side of the board. I'm just like, how did that go in?
Right.
Yeah, like Kyrie, bro, I'll see something like hit like the right corner of like the backboard.
The highest part.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did that go in?
And you'll just see him in warm-ups, and it's like, I specialize in shooting.
Okay.
But like that.
So that's not shooting.
No, it's finishing. So it's finishing at the rim. So you'll see a guy go off and he'll go side wrist and slide it off his fingertips like this where he has momentum.
Yeah.
And his eyes will put the ball on that right side of the backboard.
Yeah.
And he'll just keep doing that. Reps.
Every single time.
Reps and warm-ups. And they'll do it like nonchalant. They'll be like, and you could tell it's a rhythm thing.
Yeah.
It's just like with shooting.
When you train kids or like whoever you're training, like what's the process of it? Do you just say like, hey, take this shot 100 times until you get 6 in a row? Or like what do you do?
No, I started from the front of the rim and I make them form shoot.
Okay.
So when
form shoot, what does that mean?
Form shoot is like you're shooting slow, but you're perfecting your mechanics.
Okay.
You're focusing on how good your mechanics can be close up before you start thinking about makes. Because obviously if the rim's right above you, you're thinking, all right, you know what? I'm gonna make that. Okay, it's easy. No matter but I'm gonna focus on my mechanics. So when coach has me step back 10 feet, I'm ready to go. So like with my big time players, like my 5 stars, my D1s, my G leagues, my pros, I'll be like, all right, 3-point shots, no jump. And they'll be like, what? Then I'll be like, NBA shots, no jump. And they're like, why are you doing that? You're nuts. Like I need to jump on my jump shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, take 2 feet back. And they're like, and they're like, how'd you do that? Because I'm teaching them to use their legs and think about form before they think about makes.
Did you learn all this basketball mechanics from playing yourself, or is this after that?
I think I was very good at like fixing what I did wrong on my jump shot, but I was never that disciplined like I am teaching being a shooting coach. Right? Like you'll see me round off 10 in a row, make 10 in a row. but then I'll miss because I'm not disciplined enough to keep my feet straight or my guide hand straight. But when it comes to watching shooting, I watch it. I just watch it and I evaluate it.
Like you're better at, like, I guess this question is like, what makes a good shooter and what makes a good coach?
Wow, that's a really good point. I mean, good question. What makes a good coach is really being able to see all phases of the game and using his pieces to make everyone work together to win, right? That's my thing. That's what makes a good coach.
What do you mean by that?
Like, okay, my big man is going to go set a pick and roll, and my point guard comes off that pick and roll and knows how to find that guy in the corner, so I'm going to run a play for that, so that works.
Sure.
A shooter is like, okay, I know I'm on this open spot in the floor, hoping a guy finds me, or I need to find the rim quicker before anyone else does, and I need to be ready to find that rim. And when I find that rim, it's my confidence, and it's all the skill work that I've worked on in the gym to make those shots. Because sometimes you'll see shooters with ugly ass form and it goes in.
I know.
But they do it the same way
every single
freaking time.
What do you call it?
It's an art.
I used to golf a lot. I was trying to be a professional golfer for a long time.
Wow, we gotta get on the course.
Oh yeah, and I know I knew you used to play a little bit, right?
I play. I like it. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Do you play out here?
Yeah, I love it. Dude. I play at Westchester all the time.
Oh, Westchester, dude, you're playing like 6-hour rounds.
Yeah, or Palisades. I like playing the Palisades.
Where?
Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that course?
What's it called?
I forgot.
I just call it Rose Bowl.
It's okay. So I had my high school, I think, like SoCal championship there. Yeah, it's a good course. It's just it gets ruined because everyone parks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you golfed in high school?
I used to golf in high school a lot. I played in community college a little bit, but do you follow golf at all?
Oh yeah.
So I grew up playing with Bryson DeChambeau. And yeah, we had the same golf coach. It was fun.
Oh my gosh, that's sick.
Crazy.
Dude. Yeah.
But my point was, there's a lot of golfers who are good but have like weird,
terrible ass putting form, or
not just putting form, like weird swings and shit, dude. And if you could do the same thing consistently, and I guess like at the very end point of that motion, like big ones like Jim Furyk, you know, he has a weird loop at the top, and then like, but every single time it's fucking square. So if you somehow hit that, boom, every single time, consistently, boom. It's like,
all right, it works for you.
It works for you.
But if you can't do it consistently, find something the right way to do it.
Do consistently.
Right? So if I see like an ugly shooter and it's going in, I'm like, fuck me.
Because you can't change their total form like that, right?
Right. You slowly
So
break it down.
what's your process like when you see that? You're like, obviously I can't change this guy's form, but I have to make it better, right?
I watch their misses and then I give them little tips.
Yeah.
And then slowly it develops. Like I had one guy, a D1 guy, he's 18 years old, feet were turned like this, brought the ball all the way down to his knees instead of keeping it high. Guide hand went like this. And
knees is not good because like as you come up, like it could be swatted or something,
dude,
right?
And he's going D1. And it's like, and I would slowly try to tell him, but he'd hit 7 out of 10 every time.
Oh, shit.
And then he couldn't shoot with range. But then I build his trust. Now, a year later, his feet are straight and his guide hand's like this.
Yeah.
And when your jump shot changes that much, people notice. Yeah. Because the form.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Did you coach your sister, bro? Like she could shoot too. I was like, yo, this girl, she got like 10 or something when in your video you posted.
Just walked up, hit him, dude. Like she has a 3-point record played at Florida, shot like over 40%. Yeah. My dad played college ball at D3 at College of Worcester. Yeah. And he just knew how to teach how to spread your fingers, keep your feet straight, high shot pocket. And he just always would rebound with us and make us focus on that. Yeah. And then
you were a basketball guy from out of the womb. Mm-hmm. What did you like about it?
I love the competitive nature, how quick it was. And how quick the game can change. So your mind always has to think. You always got to be on the roll, and the cardio for it, right? And just like being able to see different things.
From a kid, you can't really think about that though.
I mean, if you're playing baseball and it's slow, right? Like I played like college, like World Series, like Triple Crown, you know, Little League, things like that, like nice World Series. I was a catcher, and I was like, Dad, Mom, this isn't fast enough. Like, I'm catching I like basketball. I like the ball. So when my sister got recruited by D1 schools, I'd be on those visits. She was 3 years older than me, and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do, and just kind of went all in. But I mean, as far as like to have the gift to evaluate shooting, it's a gift. Yeah. and I learned something new about it every day.
When did you believe or think that you wanted to be a shooting coach?
Man, honestly,
because for the longest time,
a year ago,
recently,
I was a basketball trainer. I was a skills trainer, right? I had AAU teams.
Yeah.
I trained kids to help them get ready for varsity.
Yeah.
And then I kind of...
Well, didn't you want to be a professional just basketball player in general first?
Yeah, I played pro 6 years, and I traveled the world. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. Now that I'm a shooting coach, I don't always like talk about my career, you know? I'm just like in the moment. But
because you play like all over the world, like Italy, China.
Yeah,
like
so I was fortunate to go to 2 Division I schools, and then from there I went on and played overseas for 6 years, Bosnia, El Salvador, Macedonia, China.
You just like, we're like, I don't even want to talk about
Morocco, Brazil, and I just lived out of a damn suitcase, man. Like, it was cool. Like, I enjoyed it. It was a cool part of my life. It really taught me how to grow up and be on my own.
How so?
Because you're using a translator in your phone. You're in a suitcase. You're living out of a suitcase.
Especially Asia, bro. It's kind of crazy. Like grocery stores and stuff. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, what countries have you been to?
I've been like Japan, Europe, Mexico. Not too many, but this is just recent. Like last 3 years. Yeah, but like it definitely teaches you like what you know is not what you know. Like there's so much more to the world, bro. Yeah.
And once you're out there and you can't speak English and you're in a third world country, like, all right, dude, flight or fight mode. You know, like.
And the thing is, like, they know more than you, so you're like, are these guys scamming me? What's going on?
Bro, I've played in Albania. I've played in El Salvador. I've played in Mexico.
I don't even know where Albania is.
It's Eastern Europe.
Okay.
Like, they would say, you know, it's a beautiful country, but there's rough parts.
Yeah.
Mexico,
I mean, there's rough parts of LA, bro.
Yeah, facts. But they don't speak English, you know? So you're like, all right, I'm here, survival of the fittest. So I enjoyed it, but I saw some crazy shit.
Yeah. What crazy shit did you see?
I was held at gunpoint in Mexico, 5 dudes.
Oh, you're lying.
Playing in like a money tournament.
Oh, you're lying. Basketball tournament?
Yeah, dude. Shots fired in the air and like held us at gunpoint.
What was that experience like?
Scary. Flight or fight mode. Like, didn't think I was gonna make it because
like legit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Our big man was like kind of going crazy where he smoked some lace weed or whatnot. And one of my teammates got tired of it, started fighting him, you know, pushed him out the taxi in the wrong place at the wrong time because, you know, there's parts of Mexico that's tough. Yeah. And there's people sitting
like big
in the
man,
lawn.
like a player of your team?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's people sitting in the front lawn, shots fired in the air and held us at gunpoint and we're screaming.
How did you get out of it?
I was like, vámonos, no problem, no problemo, I'm sorry, no problemo, no problem. And I'm like fucking teary-eyed, dude, crying. Fuck. And after I had that experience, that was like 6 months before COVID, I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. And then I went and played
because of that experience.
That was one of them, dude. Then I was in Albania my first year, and I got stopped, and they, you know, tried to look at my passport and just like scared me. And you know, China was cool, but you're going 20 different countries. Yeah. El Salvador was nuts. They had machetes and freaking AKs, bro, on every corner because the MS-13. But like you said, there's problems everywhere. Yeah. Right?
So I have a friend who was living in Santa Monica at the time. I told you there was like tanks, like where you live, near you. And
I heard
there was like riots all over the place, break-ins everywhere, and like shop owners were sitting outside with like shotguns and stuff, like protecting their shops because they didn't want them to be broken into. And there was like a lot of mom and pop shots, bro. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is wild. So I got out of there. But I have a friend who was like walking her dog, and there was a homeless guy, and he was like kind of catcalling her, and she wasn't paying attention. And he like pulled out a gun and was like, pay attention to me. Right. And so like I have never had an experience of someone pointing a gun at you. And I've listened to a lot of like Tony Robbins and stuff, like self-help stuff. Yeah. And he was like, yo, if someone points a gun at you, they become the most important person in your life at the moment because they determine if you live or die. And from your perspective, like what goes through your head?
Like I was just trying to diffuse the situation so quick to make things calm. But this guy that went nuts was 7 feet, 6'11", and he's going crazy and he's charging them. Dang. And our taxi driver was, you know, Mexican and stuff, but it was just like such flight or fight mode. And I was just like trying to diffuse the situation. But going through things like that is like, and in third world countries too, and other, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, bro.
You could be having your guard let down so much, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. You know, like played in Brazil. That was another one, beautiful country, but you know, there's a lot of problems out in Brazil. Like sometimes you can't hop in an Uber and go someplace.
Does basketball, professional basketball, besides I guess the NBA, like pay well?
It depends what country you're in. I would say a lot of guys that play overseas do it for their experience. If they can have their wife and their kids over, and the team pays for that and gives them, you know, say 6 figures, it's a great life, right? Because it's not a lot of it's tax free.
Yeah,
you're pocketing all that money if you don't have overhead back in the States.
Like you don't have like a house at home or like
no. If you don't have that, you're good. You're stacking, right? It's a great life.
Because they pay for food, right? I'm assuming
food, car, house, everything.
Yeah.
So it's good. You're just there to hoop.
Yeah.
But if you're in a small country and you don't have that support system, you're over there watching Netflix every day, working out twice a day.
Was that you?
Yeah. Walking in the cold, you know, following girls on Instagram saying, hey, when I get back.
Was it lonely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I had a couple, I had one that lived overseas with me for a few months.
Girlfriend?
Girlfriend at the time. And then one came to visit a couple of times, and that was nice. And then you kind of meet someone in that country, and the language barrier is different.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
A good experience.
It was cool.
You can tell your like 21-year-old son about it one day.
Right. For sure. I mean, when you're in your early 20s, bro, you got to get that out your system, you know? Yeah. Everyone's like, why don't you keep playing overseas? I'm like, because you know what? I love my dog. I love stability in my life.
Yeah. There's something good about routine, bro. About like growing your day-to-day life, like not running away from building something, you know?
And I think that's the opposite. You can't have it's hard to have a routine because...
Well, your whole life is kind of on pause, right? And you're just like, I don't know, playing from an objective point of view.
Right, doing what you love.
Yeah.
And trying to win for that team to make the town happy, to give them money.
Yeah.
You know, while you're... So it's very different. And
what did you learn from doing that? What did you learn from traveling, playing basketball?
I mean, I learned that I can adjust from a situation real quick. I can get used to something real quick. You know what I mean? Like, I can adjust and have to eat a different food right away. Or
like, did you have to eat like weird food in different countries?
Yeah, but I liked it. It was cool.
What was your favorite food?
Oh man, I liked budek in Bosnia. That was good.
What's that?
That's like a certain type of beef wrapped around bread.
Okay.
Nutella and like Nutella pizza in freaking Italy was amazing.
Fire. Dude,
yeah,
Italy, dude. The thing that fucked me up about Italy is they don't cut their pizzas.
I know.
It's like they just give you this pie and they give you a fork and knife, and I'm just like,
but you're so hungry, like, oh my god.
I was like, what am I supposed to do with this, bro? I was like, slice it up for me.
Yeah, dude. And when I noticed like playing, you travel for free. Yeah. Now that I'm not playing anymore and I want to go travel and do a vacation, that shit adds up.
Adds up. But you can do it cheap though if you want to do like hostel life.
Yeah, do you really want to do that?
Dude, it was fun.
Oh, you did it?
I backpacked.
Wow.
Yeah, and hostels are nice now. Like,
did you go solo or were you?
I went solo.
See, sorry.
Yeah, I went solo. It was dope.
Could you have brought a girl in that situation?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But some of them were nice. Like you're in rooms with like 5-6 people. But the thing is like, there'll be like a guy from Germany, a girl from Australia, like this guy from Berlin, and just different perspectives on life, bro.
Yeah,
and you learn, and
you relate to them in certain ways.
In a certain way, but also not in certain ways. Like there's this guy from Germany. He told me that he saved up all his savings for 9 months out of the year, and he blew it 3 months to go travel every single year.
But some people do that.
Some people. I didn't know that though.
A lot of people do that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, in the U.S., it's you just start to work, live for the weekends, work.
Right.
And like, I didn't know that like that type of life was possible. You know.
And I think that's a new thing with people in our generation is people save to travel. They save. All right, you know what? I'm gonna put this $15K away.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna travel and.
But
go
there's
to
a
these
lot
countries.
of older generations that are like, why are you doing that? Like you should save for a house. You should save for like this and that. Blah blah blah. But like, I believe the experiences are worth it, right?
100%.
Like what you're probably a way more well-rounded, person from experiencing all these things, and you could relate to way more people because you've experienced different cultures, you know?
Right. I could talk to all phases of life in any situation or environment.
Because there's some people who just like don't relate. They're like, I don't want to talk to you because I can't relate.
Exactly. And then they're introverted, you know? If you can learn to communicate with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you, that increases your mental cognitivity. Is that a word?
I don't know. Sounds like it. We're going with it, guys.
Yeah. Your mental cognitiveness, right? Like to where you can communicate with someone through body language or certain ways that you didn't know you ever could.
When did you want to get into shooting? Like after a gun was pointed to your head, you wanted to get into coaching? Yeah, but like there had to be like some pivot point, right?
In between playing overseas. So I did my first year in Bosnia, and I was like playing for barely anything, bro. Just trying to get my foot in the door.
What's barely anything?
Food and a couple $100 a month, bro. Fuck. Yeah, living over there. Yeah.
Really?
Because you're playing to get film, to get that next team to sign you for big time money, right? Most D1 players, bro, out of college who go overseas get anywhere from $500 a month to $2,500 a month, $3,000,
which is not a lot.
No, because the G League gives like $4,000 to $7,000, right?
Yeah.
The NBA, it can keep going on. So my year after Bosnia, I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. So I kind of moved to the Bay Area and started, worked for an academy and found one kid that I trained in a nice area, and my name kind of just traveled. Being a good organically. Yeah. No social media, right? It wasn't that big then. That was 2019, 2017, 2018, around then. And just kind of would train, but then I would go play overseas back and forth because that's what was my thing. And I would stay in these people's guest houses in the Bay Area, and I would train their kids and make their kids so much better.
High school kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Or like middle school. This kid that I stayed with was middle school.
Dude, there's something about parents paying a lot of money for their kids to get good at a sport.
I don't blame them. I'm going to do the same thing. Would you do that?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. If I had the means, for sure.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Because sports, in my opinion, teach discipline. They teach you to be on time. They teach you to work hard. Yep. Right. And regardless of money, routine. Like you always want to win, right? Competitiveness, routine too. Right.
It does teach you your routine. That kid that you're taking to soccer practice or football, mentally when he's going there, or she's thinking about practice and what they got to do. If not, they're gonna fail. And no one wants to join a sports team and fail. Yeah. So I'm a huge believer, and it's same thing with music, dude. Yeah. It's like when you're going to work on an instrument and you're going to your music teacher. You got to be locked in. You can't be playing the wrong notes because you didn't learn anything. Yeah. It's all about how you grow, and I think I'm a firm believer everything's competitive.
What do you mean by that?
An instrument. You're playing an instrument to try to play a better song. You're singing to try to sing at a better vocal or perform an amazing song. You're getting shooting lessons so you can go and hit 5 threes in a game.
I feel like singing and like music and stuff though, like I feel like better or great is objective based on people's music preference, no?
I would say so too. Yeah. 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 Like DJs, right?
Yeah. It's like some people like it, some people don't. I feel like basketball is more objective. Like if you make 10 in a row, you can make 10 in a row. Like, it's not like, like you're kind of good.
That's a good point, right? So, like, if you're good at music, you can't control if people like it or not.
You can't.
But with basketball, that motherfucker's going in.
Or golf, too.
Yeah, right.
That's something I don't like about, like, sports, like fighting or, like, things that are subjective based on judges. Because you know what team wins. But the also thing with basketball that I don't like is, like, people get mad at the fucking refs.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. But you can't control what the refs are doing for the next play.
There's so many things going on.
Yeah. And you don't want to be on a ref's bad side.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. If you
Are you always nice to the refs?
I try to be.
You try to get on the good side?
Dude, in high school.
Like, come on, guy.
Yeah,
let's go.
There was one guy, man.
That was definitely
There was one guy. He was cross-eyed, dude. Like, looked like
cross-eyed
ref.
Like
I don't know if he was all the way there. Right?
Okay.
But like like good, not a good ref.
Yeah.
But he'd always constantly call a travel on me on a Euro step. And my dad would go and sit front row, and he'd be like, "That's not a travel." And I'd be like, "Sir, what do I got to do differently?"
All right, can you explain? Is the because from what I know, it's like a Euro step is just like that last big step before you go up.
Yeah,
it's like that 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
To cover ground or to get that defender to retreat.
But it looks like a travel.
Yeah, because you're taking 2 steps, then you're going up.
Yeah.
So old school refs like travel.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, no, I took 2 steps.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
What do you mean old school refs? Like, was that a travel back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Europe invented that 2 steps.
Oh, is that why it's called the Euro step?
Mm-hmm. That's why the Lucas and the Jokic and they
Dude, it's weird how like games evolve. I talk about this a lot because I told you like I grew up playing golf with Bryson.
Right.
And he kind of reinvented the single length golf club, and we kind of like were trying to like practice with it and try to get good at it. Or like if you look at Steph, right? Steph kind of reinvented like this stupid shot of just like outside the arc of consistency behind the arc.
He changed the game.
Deep. Man. Or I compare it to fighting, how they the calf kick. It's huge in UFC now. It didn't exist before. So like, what do you think about the evolution of games, bro? Like,
it's always gonna change.
Like for the better? You think it's for the better?
New. Exciting.
Okay.
Right? Like, for an example, a trainer that's older in their 70s are still learning the new things about the game, right? Like, I mean, I would say, basketball I can relate to. For an example, like football, bro. Remember the Miami Hurricanes when they would run all those crazy trick plays? 5 years ago, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Miami Hurricanes invented that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the game always... People think of new shit.
Yeah.
It's like me being a shooting coach. I constantly think of new things.
Yeah.
Or like Kevin.
Like what?
Like balance, like shooting off 1 foot, or keeping your guide hand next to the ball, not on it, so your mind trains you to keep your left hand there. Or man, I just be thinking off drills off the fly that I think, or like you're facing the hoop, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you jump sideways, look at the wall, jump back, find the rim, because you need to find the rim with your eyes, which is a skill, and then you have to keep everything straight and knock it down.
And you'll think about that drill right on the spot. Like there.
Yeah.
Where do you think those come from? Because I think about that as a trainer as well. Like some days I'll like
do you have a plan when you do it?
Most of the time I do.
That's good.
Like I have a structure of like, also I just can't keep track now because I have a lot of clients, which is a good problem to have.
It is, brother.
And I'll be like, this is kind of what I want to work on today. It's like upper body day or a push-pull day or a leg day, right? And these are the kind of movements that I want to do. But like in the moment, sometimes like I'll pivot and be like, oh, for some reason I decided to do like, instead of like a normal barbell squat, I'll just have people pick up a 100-pound medicine ball and just like lift it on a box. Like what does that do? That works like your core a little bit more, your lower back a little bit more. It's more...
Your
primal
stuff is really good.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. So that's all creative, right? And it comes up on the spot. Same with basketball. Like, are these drills? And it's really interesting because I don't know where they come from, right? It's our intuition. It's like past experiences. I don't know, but like there's clearly something between what we've done that make other people trust us with their bodies to do the skill. And I'm trying to figure out like what is that? Because sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I can't believe like these people are trusting me and paying me my living for teaching them how to work out, how to shoot. Right?
And you're thinking of
Do you ever think about that?
When I'm in the moment, I'm so locked in. Okay. I'm like, dude, I'm like almost on the spectrum.
Like
I'm almost on the spectrum with this stuff. Like I'm so locked in. Like I'll say, well, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, the parent. And I'm like locked in, you know, because I know I have to fix that shot. And as I think like with you do different types of kettlebell movements. Yeah. But I think in your mind, you're thinking, okay, this is working their obliques. Yeah. This is working their forearm, holding it. Yeah. This is working their rotator cuff. Sure. And and you're constantly like evaluating their body. Yeah. Looking, okay, this is gonna make this part stronger, and you just have a gift for it. Yeah. Because that's your niche, right? Like
sure. But the thing is, like, I just like sometimes I'll come home, I'll throw on my throw on whatever I'm doing, relaxing, reading a book. I'm like, I just trained 8 people today, and I just don't like where did that come from? Like where did that intuition come from? Like basketball too. Yeah. Like I can't explain it. Right. Like when someone asks me like, how did you do that? How do you program? I'm just like, I don't know. I just do. Like when someone's like, how do you program your basketball routines for these players? Right now, like you kind of were like, it's
off the fly, bro.
It's off the fly.
It's crazy.
Like
I'm not in some trainers write that shit down. I walk in and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fix their shot.
Sure.
I'm gonna evaluate it.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? The goal is to get them stronger, to fix the shot, to make them make more shots.
And then once you build that trust, it's easy. It's rock and roll. Yeah, because you're good at your craft. You don't have to overthink or second guess yourself.
Yeah,
they're trusting.
But you do second guess yourself, or at least I second guess myself because I'm just like, I don't know the rhyme behind the reason. I just know you need to do this to get the result that you want. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like they'll ask me it, and I'll explain them the best my ability to. They're like, "Why am I hanging?" I was like, "Well, like you have bad shoulders, right?" I'm like, "Okay, you have bad shoulders. Well, you haven't gotten your shoulders into the biggest range of motion that they can. Hanging allows you to put gravity on the longest range of motion." And then like I'll say that, and I mean like, where did that come from? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Of it, yeah. and they're like, wow, that was
but
really
it's
good
true.
fact.
It's act. And then I'll research about it. It'll make sense. But I'm just like,
it's what you're
what
meant
made
to
me
do.
say that?
Right.
You know?
I know. You sit there and lay in bed and think that?
Dude, every time I come home. Because like today I trained 5 people. And I'm just like, they all had great workouts. They said it was really hard. They're sore the next day. They're losing weight. They're gaining muscle. Their girlfriend or boyfriend are telling them they look better. I'm just like, sick.
You're happy.
I'm happy because it's working, but also I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Like, do you get this feeling?
I do, but I can shoot the shit out the ball. So the way I teach is how I shoot.
Sure, that's the same thing. Like, if you could practice what you preach at school, right? Like, you are an example of the things that you do.
Right.
Right? And if you could, I don't say, like, practice what you preach. I say, preach what you practice, right? Because if you're preaching what you already do, like, you just have confidence in it, right?
Oh, 100%.
And confidence, if you're believable, like that's the biggest thing there. Because there's coaches out there, there's salesmen out there, there's whatever. They're like, that, and they're like, I don't want to work with you.
Well, when you see a sales guy in a room and he's confident, he's got his suit on, and he's like, dude, you see this pen, you see this water bottle, I'll sell it right now.
Right now.
And you
Some
see
Wolf
the
of Wall Street
confidence.
shit. Sell me this pen, bro.
and they go and do that. It's their niche. It's what they're great at. It's a gift.
Yeah.
And I believe that everyone has a gift in everything. You know.
Yeah.
You just have to identify that.
Yeah. And you identified your gift as a shooting coach like recently.
Yeah, man. I would say I've always taught shooting, but I never like had the confidence.
Where did you get the confidence from?
I think I had one Division I player last year because I kind of, I was going down the reality TV route, and I was like, I don't know if just being a trainer is exactly what I want to do because I haven't reached my full capability of what I know I can do. So I had one guy, and I was like, hey, I was already training at high level college, like D3 varsity guys. And I found one D1 guy, and I was like, hey, can we do a training? I'll do it for free. Just let's get some video content. And then that led to one Division I player. And then that led to another Division I player. Yeah. And then that led to a guy who was at my beach party who played in the NBA Summer League, who watched my Instagram and was like, hey, let's train. And I was like, hey, you sure if I run some content up with this? Sure, go ahead. And then that one led to another player. And then all of a sudden I had a guy who was ranked top 10 in the country. And I did like a whole video, like hearing his story about him being from Africa. And his shot, he was a good shooter, but I showed him hitting 9 in a row from like the logo. Okay, this guy was known for being like a 4-man, playing with his back to the basket. And you'll even hear me on the video say, holy shit, like I can't believe I did that. And then that led to having G League guys. And every week, based off of these content videos of me having the confidence to teach shooting in front of a camera, because I always did, but I never put a camera in my face and was like, look, I'm the shooting coach. And when I did that,
what was the difference between the camera and no camera?
I would say just the confidence of knowing how accurate I had to be. Yeah. How right I had to be. Yeah. I couldn't say something wrong in the camera, and then all of a sudden they're not hitting 6 in a row. So every video I did, I had my guys hitting 9 in a row, 8 in a row, 7 in a row from where they're not used to shooting a 3-point line, and they're great players.
Yeah, and it's your evidence, bro. Because like when I see it, I'm just like, this dude just recorded a video of like the kid that he's coaching like shoot 9 in a row.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was like, that's the evidence. That's the evidence that you need, because like a lot of people can't do that, right?
Right.
Period.
Yeah, and like you said, you shock yourself. I shock myself sometimes. Like, you know, I walk in these big arenas that these players get me in, right? And these are, and I think it's because it was a dream I always had. I always, and I've played in big arenas, you know, but the level I'm training at, I didn't play at the Dukes. I didn't play at the North Carolinas. I played at a small Division I mid-major school, right?
Yeah.
Like a Cinderella team.
Sure.
And so I'm in these big arenas, and I'm like, wow, I'm here. And they're listening to me, and I have to fix their shot in an hour in this arena with a camera in my face.
In an hour? That's all you have sometimes?
An hour, dude.
And you do it?
I do it every single time.
And they do well in the game right after?
Here's the thing, dude. There's those players that have me come in the day before, and I have to fix their shot and mess with their mechanics, and they play a game the next day.
Yeah.
And, you know, my evidence lately,
Has been fire.
Guys their percentages go up 4%, 5%. I had one kid, I trained him, wasn't getting as much minutes. He was predicted to leave and enter the draft this year, and just, you know, wasn't getting the minutes he wants. He trained, and then a day later, dude goes and hits 3 threes in the first half. And then another guy trained, his 3-point percentage went up like 4%, and the announcers are like, he's really worked on his 3-point shot. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just at the restaurant like watching, and I'm like, this is surreal.
Yeah.
And then I get
that gives you confidence, bro. That gives you confidence in that, because like every time I hear you talk about it from your videos or in person lately, I could hear the confidence, and it's very convincing, right? And it's convincing because you have proof of it, and you just know by like people, you know trainers out there are like, yeah, I could get you in shape. No, you can't.
Right.
I can't hear it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
For sure.
And you're in the fitness industry, and you know how it's funny to look at different trainers.
Oh, 100%.
And which ones are good and which ones aren't. And it's just like,
I mean, same thing with coaching. Any type of coaching, basketball or fighting or this and that, blah, blah, blah.
right.
If you are in the space, you know who's a good coach.
Yeah.
Period. By just how they hold themselves.
For sure.
Right?
People's skills and their confidence. Because you have to be confident in your craft.
Yeah.
Or that person's not going to be confident listening.
Yeah.
Remember, you ever had a time where someone tried to convince you in something and they weren't sure?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to listen to that.
Zero.
That's why I was so hard-headed. Like, that's why I think for me, I don't think I could ever work for anyone. I work for and you work for yourself too, right? Like,
such a good feeling. Mine's recently. Mine's newly a month.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, bro.
That's amazing.
It's the best feeling, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, I work hard for myself, you know, and it's like like you're not trying to grow anyone else's brand, this and that, blah blah blah.
No,
like I wake up early for me. I go to bed late for me. Like I sweat for me.
Right.
I do the workouts for me, and like
and you're helping people and changing their life.
It's selfish, bro. It's selfish because like you see that girl hit 10 shots in a row. You're like, fuck, I feel so good. I helped. I was part of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Isn't it selfish sometimes?
It is.
It's like, this feels
Sometimes,
so
right.
good, bro.
Dude, like when I go and I watch my players, because everyone wants me to come to their games and it's hard, right? Because like they train in the gym and then you want to see it. And I go and I walk in and I sit in the front row and I just sit there. And everyone knows I'm there training this kid and this kid. And I'm just like, oh, he hit that 3 right there live. And everyone's looking at me like, yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when that happens in my mind, I go right back and I'm like, no one knows when that fucking kid was in the gym at 11 p.m.
They don't
at
know.
night, shooting, trusting my process. And like I build relationships with these people, you know? It's bigger than basketball.
It's bigger than basketball.
When they have success and they tell me, I'm like, it's bigger than basketball, you know? Because these people have trusted me.
That's inspiring too, though.
And I don't think I had the coaches like that growing up. And I think that's why I'm how I am.
Because you want to be the coaches that make everyone better.
I want to be the coach that I didn't have that I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That like really believed in me, that I could go to for anything, that if I failed, always had my back.
Yeah.
You know, if I got frustrated, found a way to work through it.
Yeah.
Not say, oh, he's got attitude problems. Oh, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you do that all the time? Because like obviously you have your own like life stuff going on. Like I have my own life stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like how do you be the best coach all the time for your students?
I think it's just a mentality. It's like when I would shoot the ball and I'd be in a game and I'd be like, look, all right, I'm in this environment. I got to make shots if I want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Like when I played at Purdue and I hit 4 threes in the first half my freshman year, you know, on ESPNU Big Ten Network, I was ready for that moment. But, you know, sometimes life throws battles at you, and there was times where I wasn't all into training and I chose the lifestyle of partying and whatnot, and that really got the best of me, and that won.
Gets a lot of people.
And I went down the wrong way, so I had to reevaluate. You know, it wasn't always. I think that I realized this gift that I had, and I was like, look, I'm going to make the most of it. Because I've had times I've failed, bro. I've had times where, you know, I was intoxicated showing up to practice in college. I had times where I missed a tournament for the kids because I was choosing the other life.
Yeah.
And I told myself,
why do you think we did that? Because, like, I did that as well, too. Like,
Really?
obviously, like, some days, like, it's just intriguing to experience that nightlife. You're young. You're like, oh, like, this is what the cool kids do.
Yeah.
But, like, as you grow older, bro, like, the cool kids are the one that, like, they're at home grinding on their own business. Like, they're fucking, like, doing the cold plunge and working out.
They're up before you.
They're up before you.
They're journaling.
Yeah, they're journaling. You're doing that shit. Like, that's admirable. But why do you think that we envisioned the cool kid as the guy going out, like
I
buying
think
the
it's
drinks
the
for the
movies
girls?
of like jocks and stuff. You see
Yeah.
how jocks always act. They play their football games on the movies, and then they'd want to go out and chase the cheerleaders and the chicks. In our generation, that's what we watched.
That's what it was. Yeah, and it's weird because like we coming out to LA, and I've been out here for 7 years. You're almost 2.
Yeah.
Like a fresh guy.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is to do the thing that is uncool from like our perspective of like a high school life or a early 20s life, you know?
Right. And now I think what's so cool about LA is that drinking's kind of going on a style.
Yeah.
People will go do their cold plunge or their sauna or their sound baths or their coffee and chill.
It's that West Side bubble, guys.
I'm still drinking fun. No, but that's on the real. It's on the real. It's on the real. And I mean, I guess the science has come out that it's just like drinking is like scientifically bad for your body. Poison.
Yeah.
But like
it's okay to have one every now and then.
everyone
Feel
out
it,
there, loosen up.
Right.
I came from the bartending world, and it's treated as a craft, right? It's like an art form, an art form that
that's
you can
different.
drink.
Yeah.
It's different, right? And they'll spend like 10 minutes making a fucking cocktail, or multiple days making a cocktail by infusions and this and that.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that's an art form, but also like,
You deserve to try it.
deserve to try it. Right? But like, there's also the unhealthy side of it, dude. The bartending world's totally different. Like, there's this like nightlife of like after hours where bartenders go to like have their fun after, and it's like 4, 5, 6 a.m. right? And I told you I'm training at 6 a.m. like personal training. I'm just like, I can't be in it anymore.
No. You got to pick and choose.
Pick and
Because
choose.
sleep's everything. And I think with like,
Again, sleep studies have come out. It's like, yo, that 6 to 8 hours is like money. Like, you need that.
Yeah.
You need it to like be a better human, a better version of yourself.
If I have 2 drinks now, I wake up with sweats at 4 a.m. like, what the heck? I'm drowning because I'm 30 years old now, right? And it's just like, it's not the same. Like, why did I order that second drink?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have. I was still having fun, you know?
The beard, bro. The beard looked good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's because I'm losing hair.
Are you?
Yeah, and I'm balding.
Dude, the bald with the beard look is like, so many people love it. So
I
many
might
chicks
have
love
to go
it.
with it. Like,
I mean,
dude,
I feel like you kind of have it.
I'm growing it out, bro. Like Turkey wants me to come over there and do a hair transplant on me for free.
No,
It's got a
don't do
collab.
it.
I know.
You look good with the
Really?
the short hair. With
Thank
the beard,
you, bro. I appreciate that.
What do you call it? So what are basketball workouts like? Like, cause you were a professional basketball player, you were a college basketball player, you were a high school basketball player. Like, what's the difference between like, I guess, regular strength training, regular fitness compared to like basketball workouts?
I would say how much your mind has to work with the conditioning. For an example, if you're on the treadmill and you're running as fast as you can, your mind is actually just telling you to make your legs move and pump your arms.
Okay.
When you're doing
For regular fitness.
regular fitness, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing freaking handle work and you're going between cross through the legs, between behind, you're having to do those skills while you're dead tired and your mind's having to tell you to keep the ball in tight to your body. Like,
I guess just
I
the
love
fitness-
fitness now, dude. I'm so hooked on it.
I guess just the physical aspect of it. Like, what was the weightlifting? What was that training like for basketball?
A lot of Olympic lifting, squats, like these in college, dude. They had you lifting heavy. But then they'd have you go conditioning on the track in the morning. Then you'd have open gym. So you're constantly like in the off season just playing.
Yeah.
But you lift heavy, but then you lean out by how much you run.
So is it just like, is it normal
And it's
stuff?
a lot of cutting.
Is it like squats, deadlift, bench press? Like, is it all that stuff?
Bench press, deadlift, squats. Not as much deadlifts in college, but squats and bench were a huge thing.
Okay.
Jerks. And then like mile time.
Mile time.
Yeah. Like, dude, in Europe, oh my gosh. If you played Saturday and they gave you Sunday off, they would know that you probably stepped out Saturday. So for Monday, you would just run sprints and just do layups.
Really?
That was all they did for the whole practice.
Did you ever study like certain types of training, like I don't know, like Michael Jordan and Tim Grover, right? Like there's always the famous photos of them doing like the incline bench press and this and that.
Yeah. I would say, I studied Chris Brickley a lot. He's a guy who's a lot. He's tatted.
Just like he's tatted, I should study him.
No, like he's just got that niche to him. He's younger. He's like 35, you know, and he took an internship for the New York Knicks 5 years ago and just kind of got his foot in the door. And now he's got his own gym and he's got every big time NBA player that comes to the gym and he has his own shoe company.
That's so.
And he's killing it. But you know what I respect about him? The dude is obsessed with it. Yeah. That's all he does. He eats, breathes, lives it, watches it, writes it.
There's something so admirable about people who are obsessed with what they do. It's like sexy.
It is.
Obsession is sexy, bro.
Yeah, no, it is. I agree. In anything.
Right. Like when people talk, like I have a buddy who is obsessed with pottery and he just talks about pottery. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, should I do pottery? Like, that sounds so dope. And then I go home and sit in my bed. I'm just like, why the fuck do you want to do pottery, bro? But he makes it sound sexy. He's like, bro, I'm trying to get like this curve and this curve. I'm trying to make these pots.
And you're just like listening as like a friend, but like how about your guy that makes swords? Like, that's sick, dude. He makes wood swords. He swings them around. But it's cool. Like, and it's his passion. Yeah. Here's my thing. If you have a fucking passion in your life and that's what you chase, there's nothing more beautiful than that.
Do you think passion's real?
It comes within. It comes in how deep you want to dig in for what you have passion for.
Because like
I believe you have a passion.
I thought, because like initially,
you don't think passion's real?
I don't know. I've been dealing with like this thought of like for basketball, right? Do you have passion because you've done basketball for so long that you were really bad at it, that you got decent at it, that you got good at it, that you got great at it to the point of where you love it now and that's your passion?
Dude, you know what? That's crazy that you said that because passion can come and go. Yeah. And I think basketball is what I was used to. Yeah. Always it was a thing. It was a routine. It was a repetition. I didn't always have passion. You know, like I would go and train and do really well in my life, but that wasn't my passion. I wouldn't go watch their film. I'd be like, all right, how can I go buy a car? How can I go party? How can I go show this thing?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah. I think passion comes from doing something
repetition
for a long period of time and eventually loving it, right? And then you say it's your passion. Yeah, you know, because like I would say I have a passion for fitness, right? But I hated fitness when I first did it. I wouldn't say I was passionate about it all the time. Or cocktails too. Like I was a busboy, I was a server. I was like, I didn't love cocktails in the beginning, but like after spending 7 years on like creating my own bitters and like creating my own cocktails, like I'm good at it. Right. And now I love it. Now I have a passion for it.
And you worked your way up. And I worked my way up. Your dues.
Paid your dues.
So it makes you feel good when you reach your success.
I don't know. Like it's been an idea in my head that lately, just for the last few months that I've been trying to battle with, I was like, is passion real? Like I don't know. Like I think it's from doing something for a long period of time and eventually loving with it.
You're a deep ass thinker, bro. That mind wanders when you hit the pillow, fam. Like that thing.
Smoking too much weed.
No, I feel that your head, but it's true because there's times I was passionate when I got hurt with thinking.
Yeah, you had your left knee, right?
Twice. Yeah. Wow, you do your research. I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks, bro.
ACL twice. Yeah. So I didn't think I was told I'll never be able to play again. Yeah. And you know what's crazy is I didn't reach the NBA. Yeah.
But was that the goal at the time?
100% it was the goal, but it wasn't my path. And now that I work with NBA players, it's like, it's crazy. It's surreal. Like for an example, I have a story that a good friend of mine, and teammate growing up. Played at the University of Notre Dame, and we played, in the same AAU team together. And he played in the NBA. He had some time in the NBA. And not too long ago, I showed up to his college gym and trained a player. And the way that he treated me with respect and just how great it was, and then just admirable of what I was at my craft when he played in the NBA and I didn't reach that level he did, made me say, wow, never would have thought that.
What do you mean?
I never would have thought that I'd be working with this high level of players, higher level than I played.
Sure.
I'm working with players at a higher level than I played, and I played at 2 Division I schools and professionally for 6 years. And I think that's what makes me so confident,
It's a shocking factor. Like, you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Right.
I do it. It's every day, bro.
Yeah.
At least for me recently. It's
right.
like,
With your career, talk about that, man.
yeah, it's like, so like I train big agents who represent like names like Kevin Hart or Mark Wahlberg and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Or like people on the podcast who, like, I guess I've told you my this guy who I looked up to fitness, he was the guy I got into fitness, and I had him on the podcast, and I was like I looked up to this guy for like years, and I'm talking to him like where you are right now. He was sitting exactly where you are, and I'm like, you're here right now. Like, I looked up to you for so many years, just following your like videos, and I'm just like, oh, you're doing the thing. Therefore, you have to be confident, right? Yeah. Like, you're training that guy, you have to have that confidence now because you're in it.
Dude,
it's proof to yourself.
When I got the call to go train, pods for the Warriors and work with him, I had to go to his apartment, meet his father, and then get a ride over to the Chase Center and train. Yeah. And I'm driving in the rain, and it's all surreal as happening, and I just broke down and cried. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, I've reached my dream. I wrote in my freaking journal. Yeah. Train NBA players. Yeah. Train NBA players. And it just like happened.
I love that because it's a little bit of both of what I believe confidence is. And I saw this quote a while ago, and it says, confidence isn't built by saying a ton of affirmations or writing them down or saying it to yourself in the mirror. It's by having an undeniable stack of proof that shows you who you say you are. Does that make sense?
I love that. Yeah.
So like,
you built the resume to believe that.
To believe that. So like, if I wake up every single morning and I'm just like, oh, you're a celebrity personal trainer, you're a celebrity personal trainer, you're a celebrity personal trainer, and I'm just not training anybody, like, you're not gonna build the confidence, regardless of how many fucking times you say it, bro.
Right.
But you build up that work. You do the work. You do the work. You do the work. And then that day, when you're at that dude's fucking house meeting his dad, you're like, fuck, I'm the man who I said I am. And that's the confidence. I'm here. I
paid my dues.
I paid my dues. I have the evidence that proves to myself that I said who I say I am. And that's where the confidence is built.
And you got to think every new opportunity that you get with that celebrity client or with that, you did something to get put in that position. So when you show up to that position, you show up with that memory and that confidence to kill it.
100%.
And that's what you ride with.
Yeah. 100%.
And that just makes you just get through the workout, because we both do workouts, and you're just like, wow, this just flew by. This was an hour.
Same thing with like saunas and cold plunges. Like I like, if I tell myself I'm gonna do 5 minutes in the cold plunge or 30 minutes in the sauna, I always do it because I'm just like, you said you're gonna do this 5 minutes, you better fucking do this 5 minutes.
Your toes are cold as shit. You're like, dude, all right, I've already been here 3 minutes. I don't need to be here longer, but I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right. And then you get out and you're like, I'm so proud of myself.
But if you come out like after 2 minutes, you're like, fuck. I've done it a couple times.
Really?
Came out early.
My early days I did at the Pause studio. I'm like, fuck this, dude. Like,
do you think crying is important?
You gotta cry. You gotta get it out. Do you cry?
So I recently cried for the first time in like over a year.
How'd that feel?
It was actually pretty good. It was from running my first ultra marathon. I passed the finish line and I couldn't stop crying.
Just like so proud or like in pain?
Both. Definitely both. Yeah.
Wow, dude, good for you.
Because I was sitting down in the back of my gym one day with a fellow trainer, and he was talking about like when's the last time you cried? I was like, I don't know, like a few years. And he was like, bro, you definitely need to cry. And I was like, what do you mean?
It helps, yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't think I need to cry. like, I just never felt the need to, or like, I haven't had the emotion to. He was like, no, you definitely need to. I was like,
so then you learned how to cry?
No, I was like, I don't know. Like, I haven't, like I had a breakup recently that I didn't cry. Like, family member died, didn't cry. I'm just like, oh, I'm good, dude. Like, I'm pretty mentally stable. I think I'm good. It's like, no, you definitely need to cry. And I was like, I don't know when I could cry, bro. Like, I don't know if it's a good, like, he was like, it's a definitely emotional release.
Right, run from, And you probably controlled that.
Contained it, yeah. And so
contained it.
And so that was one of the hardest things I've done in the last couple of years. It's just like at mile, I think 26 out of 32, I was
holy shit, that's a lot of running.
Yeah, mile 26 out of 32. My feet were we did it in the sandals. Were extremely fucking just like I couldn't feel them. It was cold, like a pain.
Like Jesus sandals.
Jesus sandals, yeah. And
your toes were probably just like
everything was fucked, bro. Like everything was fucked.
Oh my god.
Like I couldn't feel them. They were hurting. Like everything, my whole body was hurting. And I was just like one step after another, one step out of another. I was like, you got this, bro. Like you told yourself you're going to do this. Like back to the confidence thing. Yeah, like you have to do it. You're going to do it. You're not going to back out.
You're thinking of the outcome.
You got 5 miles left. That is like
it's nothing.
It's nothing. That's
compared to what you just did.
Yeah, nothing. So and then I was like, oh, you got this. And then I passed the finish line and I can't stop crying, bro. Can't stop crying.
That was the first time.
First time in a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, and it felt good.
It felt great.
You're so proud of yourself.
I don't know if it was proud of myself, bro. It's just like, I just don't know what happened. I think all that emotion of bent up over the year and a half of, I don't know.
Right.
A family of this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or
keeping it in.
Keeping it in.
Letting it out.
Because, I don't know.
What a moment to cry after
that. The things of like, oh, you're a man, you don't cry. You know, the things that we were taught growing up, especially in our generation.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I guess the previous generation. At all.
No.
At all. And I'm like.
But you know what's scary is, sorry to interrupt, is that when someone uses crying against you. Like if a girl says he cries too much.
Dude, we live in a generation where girls are like, damn, he's hot, he cries.
True, but then there's some though be like,
no, there is.
He's
there's
emotional, you know, he cries because he's got a good heart.
Yeah, he cares.
Yeah. I'd rather have that than a guy that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like when a girl cries with me, I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Like, I'm sorry. Like, come here.
Yeah.
You feel like you can protect them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And with guys, it just shows a vulnerability of being able to let someone in.
Express emotion.
Of crying, yeah. And I got to the point I was broken so hard in that show, they'd be asking me how you're looking at me, interviewing me, and I'd break down and cry.
Really?
Yeah, that's how, because I learned to trust them. Because I'm in interviews like what I'm doing with you 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
So you're building these relationships. You're building this trust with these people. They're helping you get through the house because it's not easy to live there for 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Trying to win $1 million. And so like you learn to, they bring emotion out of you, you know?
All right, guys, on that note, we're going to take a break. We're going to the restroom and we'll be right back. Make some cocktails.
Perfect.
See you in a bit. Before we continue, this episode is brought to you by In Spirit Bitters. Be your own bartender at home and make yourself an old-fashioned, Manhattan, hot toddy, spicy margarita, and much more with your In Spirit Bitters. They have various flavor profiles ranging from holiday spiced to pineapple habanero. Just go to www.inspiritbitters.com and use code NBP for Nate Biltz Podcast for 15% off your next order. All right, we're back, baby.
Woo!
Cheers, my guy.
Cheers.
Round 1, 2. Dude, so like, why did you want to get into the reality scene? Because like, I feel like there's a lot of people, at least from my experience, there's a lot of actors who don't want to get into reality TV because they can't be like a true actor.
Growing up watching the shows with my mom, I told my mom
like
I should be on reality TV.
Oh,
Laguna Beach, The Hills. Real World.
So you liked that?
I loved it.
Like you loved it.
I love watching it. Yeah, it's just like I enjoyed it.
So it's kind of surreal when you were on it.
It was real to me. Yeah, but like watching it when I was little, I was like, this is real TV. Like this is what I want to do it one day. And when
like from like what age?
I would say middle school.
Really?
Yeah. And you know, being like talking to girls in middle school, they watch reality TV. Jersey Shore. Remember Jersey Shore on Thursday nights? Yeah, dude. Jersey Shore's still blowing up. Like
Is it really?
Yeah, family reunion.
The family reunion part?
Yeah. So I like since I was little, I wanted to do it. I was always good at like I never got shy in environments to speak out. And I guess that's kind of
Where do you think that you got that from? Because I feel
my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad was, in higher education, did a lot of speeches in front of tons of students, tons of...
So you don't get shy?
Sometimes. Because I think when I'm shy is when I really think about what I want to say. When I'm not shy, it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just like a comfort level.
Because you talk to a lot of like younger kids a lot, right?
Yeah.
About just like basketball, about life, X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah. I'm
and
the mentor.
You don't get shy when for those case scenarios?
Never.
Mm-mm. Like
not honestly, no. Not even with the big guys, I'm not shy. Even when I'm developing my reputation, but
even like coaching like someone new who's playing in D1 or in professional league.
The first, like when I'm walking up with them and they get me in the gym, I'm a little shy. But then once I get in the court, like you said, it's a level of confidence, you know. But I want to touch back on the reality TV.
Yeah.
I was always the outcast, right? I was always judged. I was always bullied.
Was that objectively true, or was that just how you felt?
It was true. Like there was a Twitter made about me in high school when I would play a game that they would just write bad tweets about me.
Really?
I was harassed in high school by a teammate that would tweet about me and harass me. So I was always like the outcast.
So you're like bullied a little bit.
Yeah, I was bullied because I was different. You know, I'm tatted. I got 5 piercings. You know, I
different in what way? Like back then. Were you tatted? Did you have like piercings back then or anything like that?
A little bit, but I just dressed extra. Like whatever was in, I would multiply. Like in Halloween, when I was 11, I had a green mohawk. It's like a punk, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was always.
I could see you with mohawk though.
Not anymore.
I definitely could see it.
So I just I was kind of always just different.
Yeah.
Right, and I think with reality TV, you have to be different. So. I always wanted
to make it entertaining. Right?
Yeah, and I always
you can't be a boring guy.
I always wanted to do it, and when that show Siesta Key was going in Florida, I was around them a lot, but not on the show. But I was like going through a rough time in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was drinking heavy. I wasn't showing up and being my best me. You know,
that's a tough spot because I feel like there's a lot of people who go through that experience in life where like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah.
What's your advice to like I guess the little Leo or like any fucking kid out there, young 20s, late 20s, like any person in their life who are just like I don't know what to do. Like
find a routine.
Find a routine.
Why routine? And stick with it. Because it teaches discipline, it teaches stability, it teaches confidence, and it teaches loyalty. And the reason I can tell you that is because I was a guy who was depressed, who wouldn't get out of bed. My place smelled like shit. My place wasn't clean. I, would drink a lot, eat bad, try to go run my business. Now I wake up, I write in my journal, I make my bed, I keep my place clean as much as I can. I keep everything organized because I don't want to go back to those bad memories that I had. And so I think about that every time. Yeah. And I think
also those small things are hard, bro. Like when making your bed every day is hard. Like brushing your teeth 3 times a day or 2 times a day, whatever. Flossing your teeth. It's fucking hard.
Teeth?
Yeah, they're fucking awesome, bro. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to floss today. But you floss anyway. Like you do your dishes anyway. Right. You do those things because you make your.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah, but they're hard, bro.
It sucks.
Like being an adult is fucking hard, bro.
It's hard. How many times in your place is beautiful? Do you walk past your bed and there's a corner and you're like, all right, I got to go train this client. Yeah. I got to line up this podcast with this person. I got to take my pre-workout. Fuck, my bed is not made. Yeah. I keep walking past my bed and I need to make it. If not, I don't make it.
5 minutes. It bugs you.
It does.
I saw your post and I was like, I'm going to learn how to meal prep this year. And I was like, learn how to meal. Does this guy not know how to meal prep?
Fuck no. I had to teach myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know
You
how
didn't
to
learn
cook at
cooking
all.
growing up?
No chance, bro.
Really?
Because in college, you always had a restaurant. You always had a cafeteria to go to get food with your meal points.
Yeah.
When you're overseas, they always had restaurants for you to go and eat at for free.
So you didn't know how to cook?
No.
How was that experience like?
Dude, my dad used to cut my steak till I was like sophomore year of high school. I was a little baby. You know, I was the baby child. But I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. I would want to rush through it like I'd eat a noodle freaking dry. You know what I mean? Rather than wait and watch it cook and enjoy it. Now I meal prep and I'm like,
how's that going?
I love it.
How
dude.
did that? What did you start with? Like, what was your first meals?
I did ground turkey with broccoli and some rice.
Ground turkey's disgusting.
It's terrible.
I hate it.
But it fuels you. It makes you strong, and you're like, damn, you know.
I feel like you could get like lean ground beef. I feel like it's better. You could get some taco seasoning.
Like I said, dog, I don't cook, so I'm learning.
Yeah, clearly you're staying in LA because it makes you happy, right?
It makes me so happy.
What do you like about LA?
I love having a routine. I love waking up and hearing the ocean. I love smelling the salt water, the fitness.
This isn't all LA, guys. This is Westside Bubble.
Bro, I had a point where New Year's hit and I'm like, all right, I looked at apartments in San Francisco. I looked at apartments in the Bay and I'm like, all right, you know, I could stay here and maybe triple my money. But you know what? I'd probably get burned out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no water. I don't smell the salt. There's no cold plunge place. You have berries.
There's no cold plunge place in the SF.
No, you have berries and you have one F45. And it's like, no.
Oh, Barry's boot camp.
So I'm gonna go and work my ass off, and then it's like, what is gonna help my mind relax? And I think that's what's so good is I grind and then I separate it.
Yeah.
Like people would try to get me to train in LA, and I'm like, nope.
Train. What do you mean?
Like, hey,
basketball.
Can you train? I'm like, oh no,
It's your safe space.
it's my safe space. Yeah.
You won't train in LA.
Sometimes, but it's rare. It's gonna
rare.
be a big dollar.
It's because like you cherish your routine so much that like this is my enjoyment time and this is my lifetime.
Yep.
And then I go to work.
Yep.
Why do you think SF doesn't have like the cold plunges, the saunas, like all that stuff?
We gotta invent it there. I think that LA is where everything is fashion. New people flying in from all over the world, new inventions.
But people say that about San Francisco.
With the tech.
Yeah, with tech.
But that's what's cool about San Francisco is like I was at the Super Bowl 2 weeks ago and
How was that?
Fun, amazing experience.
Are you a football guy?
Yeah, I'm a football guy. I like it, you know. But I was with the CFO of Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's fucking, he's just ripping it, you know, and he's blue collar button up with his tight pants on. And it's like you never guess who he is.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's
what I love about the Bay. They're so fucking humble, dude.
Yeah.
They're so humble.
You wouldn't know. Like the thing about the Bay is
These
like
people walk in your gym, they're worth billions, dude.
Yeah,
It's
you wouldn't
like-
know.
And they don't act like it, and they treat
Zero.
you like you're another person.
Yeah.
In LA, it's like.
There's
who's
people
that?
who don't have money and they were like, "Who the fuck are you?" There's
And
this
they act like it.
when I was bartending, bro. There was a lot of like quote unquote influencer girls, and
my God.
they like I'd say, "Oh, would you like your bill for that?" They'd be like, "Do you know who I am?" I was like, "I don't. I'm sorry." I was like, "I don't." And
Pay for your drink.
pay for your drink, please.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the entitlement, bro. It's just ridiculous over here. I'm like, what's going on? Is the cold plunge big enough?
Yeah.
It's big enough. Dang, you're a tall dude, bro.
I know, dude. There's only one plunge that fits me. It's like the one that I go to. There's
Yeah.
two. They have two, right?
Yeah.
One that you float and your feet are
At
either
Ice
out.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ice Pass is solid, man. Shout out to them. They're killing it. But the tub I go into, you just submerge and you're in there.
Are you hands in, hands out type
I'm
of guy?
coughing. What do you do?
I'm hands in when I'm
Coughing.
when I'm feeling
Or
tough.
you're here? Oh, when you're feeling tough?
When I'm feeling tough, it's just by my side. I'm just like, okay, cool.
here?
But like, if I'm like, I'm feeling like a soft boy some days, my hands are like right here, breathing into them.
Oh, that's good. You know what the worst is? Okay. You know what the worst is when you're in a cold plunge, you're 6'5", 6'6", and you can't fit. So
I can't
half
relate.
of your hand is in and half it's out, and you're like, because you know the
I
thermal
think that's just
worth,
an excuse because you could put your hands in no matter what.
but I'm used to the coughing.
Oh.
You know
Okay.
the coughin? This
Yeah, I
is
know the coffin. Are you
right
just
here.
protecting yourself
Yeah, you're getting through
from the
it.
cold demons?
And then you dip your head, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
There's
so much science behind it, like the cold shock proteins and everything like that. And I'm not really good at remembering all the scientific facts, but you just know it's like good for you. I'm like, cool. There's I want to do this, but I don't know a gym that can have it. It's basically new research has shown that if you do a cold plunge before you work out and you heat up while working out, like do cold plunge first, and then do like your camp workout or X, Y, and Z, like that's the most beneficial.
I've heard, but you're fucking freezing.
But you warm up doing the workout, and like that's the thing.
Ooh, that might be my new thing, Nate.
Can you do it?
I'm on it. I'm gonna try it.
Do you have the ability to do it?
Oh yeah, because I can plunge at ice pass whenever.
And then you could go straight to camp.
Yeah, my guy Tim, he big time model. I work out with him. Dude's cool, married, right? He went and did a camp workout with me, a circuit, and he's like, I'm like, he's got a hoodie on, my shirt's off, and he's like, dude, I just plunged at my house,
dude.
I'm like, run that shit out now, because I hate the getting yourself back warm again in the morning. I got a sauna.
So the sauna after the workout is beneficial in terms of growing muscle, right? So if you cold plunge after you work out, it's not beneficial for you like growing hypertrophy, for growing muscle.
No, it just heals your muscles. And
so it recovers quickly.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get bigger, cold plunging after workout's not good. But if you're trying to like recover quicker, if you're a sprinter, if you're a basketball player, X, Y, and Z, if you're CrossFitter, like a cold plunge after the workout you should do it.
Right. Well, I think I got into it not only for a routine, but you work out twice a day. Your body can't handle that. Your joints are going to break down. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like you fucking hiking in your sandals. You got to put your feet in cold water to get those toes to heal. Right? It's true.
Yeah.
Or how else are you going to heal your body?
I mean, there's like massage or stretching, like all those things.
There's those too, but... I don't know, man. I'm just like, I used to do ice baths in high school up to like my waist and put the ice in my tub at home. That's what I'm saying. That's how I healed. Yeah. And then in college, before game night, I would go in a hot bath and stretch. Basketball. Yeah, stretch. Yeah. I'm a big bath guy.
A bath guy? Are you a bubble bath guy?
Nah. Yeah, a little.
A little bit? You gotta find a big tub for you.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
What makes you a good coach, bro? Like, why do you think people decide to choose you instead of anyone else?
I'm fucking real. I'm real. I just I'll say something and it may not make them happy, but at the end of the workout, they'll know.
Give me an example.
You're hot right now, and the last 10 minutes you haven't shot well at all, and we have 15 minutes left of the workout, and you continue to shoot bad because you're tired. Yeah. And so you're going to walk out of this gym, and you're not going to shoot well because of the habits that you developed those last 15 minutes. Or, for an example, you go and hit 15 threes a row in my gym, but then you can't do it outside when you leave because you don't have the confidence.
That's a real thing.
Oh my gosh. There's a few of them I have, man, that they'll hit 25 in a row in front of their parents and they're filming. And then I go and I text their parents. I'm like, how'd they do? Nope. And I cannot sleep at night. Yeah. Probably with you, right? Sure. With your clients, if they're not losing the weight that you want them to lose or they're not getting the physique that you want them, you're like, how can I do that? Yeah. They're obviously not taking care of business at home. Yeah. Because I'm taking care of business with them in the gym.
Yeah, I definitely know that. There's this one client in particular that heavier set guy, and we're working out 3 times a week, and I'm like, dude, we're doing every single thing. You have to, I know for a fact it's nothing in my control. It's everything at home. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? Tell me the truth.
How many fucking donuts you eating?
How many donuts you eating? You know? And then I'll have his kid hit me up. He's like, yeah, dude, my dad ate 10 donuts. He's hitting me up.
And you're waiting for his ass to come to a gym. I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? And he'll tell me, it's like, I ate chicken and salad today. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And it's just funny, how people do that. And they're really like, oh, yeah, I
can't fool me.
I did all the... You can't fool me, bro.
Look at your body.
I know for a fact, you are the evidence. Mm-hmm. You know? It's you clearly aren't doing what you said you were going to do. Right. And build that confidence.
Or the influencers that post and they're looking big and they're kind of... They're not that chiseled and their weekends are fun.
Because or the opposite, bro. They look great on social media because, dude, these filters are advanced.
I don't even know how to use a filter.
Bro, there's some girls who they're shredded on social media. I see them in person, bro. I'm like, that's you? You're the same person? There's one girl in particular, I won't name the name, but I'll show you after.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no way you're the same person. Like, that's ridiculous.
I know, dude. It's fucking. And us guys, we don't have to worry about that as much.
Sure.
I think.
I don't know, bro. I have a friend of a friend's good friend. So like a friend of a friend who's in the same like a situation. Like you know, like we'll be at the same place. We'll be at a bar, and he told us he was like he got a butt implant. As a guy, straight guy.
Why?
It's like, bro, I always wanted to have cakes, and I was like, do squats, bro. Like,
no way. Did it look like mad weird?
it looked pretty good.
Was he strong after that, or like
He wasn't strong after it. He just like decent. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Paid a lot of money for it.
That's what you spend your money on. Obviously, he's doing well if that's what he can invest his money in.
Yeah.
Like he's just fucking bored. He's had another butt cheek.
Just want cakes, bro.
And now he's got to do the squats to make it even better.
I guess, but dude, I've seen some bad butt implants out here. Oof. Like girls, mostly. Really? It's like, you know, you see the skinny leg, and then it's just like, boop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no way legs look like that, bro.
I would never. It's like doing a hair transplant. You take the risk. And like, even if you got a small tight butt, like rock that.
Rock it.
The Kardashians, like, you know, Kendall and Kylie had, you know, a tight small butt. It was solid.
Yeah.
I go after girls with tight small butts because they got nice abs and they work hard.
I don't know if the Kardashians are a best example though.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I've seen them multiple times because like I bartended for them a few events.
Wow.
They're actually really pretty in person, but I'm just like, how much of that is real?
You know, I think it's the LA thing is like some people just get obsessed with doing the Botox, doing the freaking skin stuff, doing the.
A lot of guys do though. A lot of gay guys out here do it.
Really?
Yeah. For sure. You don't have any lines, bro.
Really?
You're solid.
I've done Botox once.
Once?
Once. Really? No lines?
No lines.
In my straight teeth.
Oh, there you go. Now you got lines. As long as you do that.
Yeah.
You got good teeth, bro.
Thank you, bro. I did the Invisalign.
Invisalign's solid. That's one thing that's kind of weird. I went to college with a ton of dentists and orthodontists.
Yeah. I don't think you have a single flaw about you, dude.
Oh, why is that?
You got the whole head of hair. You got straight teeth.
Oh, thanks, bro.
You got tan skin. You know, you have the smart, articulate look.
Ah, thank you.
What are you?
Filipino, Vietnamese, Chinese, German.
Wow.
A lot. Yeah.
Damn.
What's it called?
A lot of Asian in you.
Ambiguous.
Yeah.
Just to keep you guessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing when I was bartending. A lot of people were like, "What are you?" I'm like, "Is that an insult or is that a compliment?" I don't know. I'll take it as a compliment because it makes
See
you
how
feel better
dark
about
my
myself.
skin is, but you see, like, I got a little Asian in me too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So and it's like,
So when you're in the sun, you fucking tan.
love it.
That's
Love
sick,
it.
dude.
Do you believe in like all the vitamin D shit about getting your sun in?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I was in Chicago and Wisconsin and Indiana a month ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm in nice areas and stuff, and these people haven't seen the sun for like a month, and they're walking around like
miserable,
just like in fucking robots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why I live on the beach.
Yeah.
Like I would rather not work for 4 days and just enjoy the sun. Like today was beautiful, 68. Yeah. It was 69 when we came.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that's something about like other places that are not California or LA. It's they're sad because they're not getting enough vitamin D from the sun, right? Mm-hmm. So like the biggest thing about a lot of people getting COVID was because they were vitamin D deficient. And so like vitamin D is such an important supplement to have. And like a lot of places in the world, you're not exposed to sunlight. No. Alaska, some days, like you don't see the sun at all.
No.
You know?
Right.
So like you need to get it in somehow. You know?
Right. You gotta take the vitamins for it.
There's some things that I see woo-woo though that are in the big fitness space. Like I don't know. I believe in the grounding stuff.
Like what?
Have you seen like asshole to the sun? You see the guys with their legs spread, just like asshole to the sun. You never seen that? Like they'll they'll do this way, guys. Like they'll open up this way, like sun this way. Like they believe, or the guys drinking their own piss.
I gotta get on this. The shit you look at and think about at bed, Nate. That's crazy, bro.
And I'm just like, well, they truly believe in it. Like, they talk about it. Back to the confidence thing of like, oh, they believe in this so much, like, should I look into it? And like, some days I'm just like, should I look into drinking my own piss?
See, That's nuts. And see, that's the thing I think with
Because they
life
truly believe it. They
but
see
people can be manipulative and manipulate you to believe something.
You're right.
Cults, trance, like things like that.
But the thing is, like,
They're so good at looking into your eyes.
They speak it with the conviction that you talk about basketball with, though. Like, the way you describe basketball and how to shoot and your guide hand and like that squat that you're talking about and shooting, like, and you're so confident in saying it. That's the way they talk. So what's the difference?
Do they have the evidence of them showing their asshole to the sky that it helps their mind and makes them happier? What do? Go film for a week and say, this is me happy after my asshole was shown the sun?
I mean, not from my experience, no.
You see what I'm saying? Like me, I'm confident in what I teach, but then I'm like, here's the evidence, 9 in a row. Here's the evidence a day later in a game.
Yeah.
Dude, this is nuts. And I think it comes back to like you laying in bed and thinking, wow, I just did that. I had a kid, I trained on Saturday, couldn't shoot very well, about a month ago. D1 kid has D1 offers, and we're just adjusting his shot. And this kid's 6'7", strong, athletic, and he's just like...
Some of these kids, bro, that you post, I'm just like, they're bigger than you. I'm just like, you're a big guy.
I love it, dude.
You're a big guy.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I'm just like, yo.
So they're huge, right?
Yeah.
And he just listens to everything I say. And 2 days after he trained, he goes down and hits a game winner in front of 3,000 fans. And I'm laying in bed watching this, and I'm like, I can't take it all
What's that
in.
feeling like, bro? Have you done that before?
There's no better feeling, like, to do that. Like, because all your work that no one saw that you put in, and the dude comes down confidently, pull 3 game winner.
Yeah.
And he couldn't shoot the ball 2 months ago. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's not. It's about, there's a bigger feeling of helping these people and having them reach their success that makes me happy.
Their potential, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, how good can this person be? Like, they don't know. I know.
Right. Dude, like, I'll train at 5 a.m. and I don't need to. And I just do it because I want to help that person.
Yeah.
5
a.m.'s early, bro. I have a couple 5 a.m.ers, so I'm just like, I don't want to be up right now.
Where's the Celsius? Like,
dude, I love Celsius. I really do.
Do you pound a Celsius at 5 a.m. or a Alani?
Sometimes. I don't love Alani. Alani's okay.
Yeah?
My strawberry kiwi Celsius is fire.
Solid, yeah.
What else do I like?
Their grapes are good. I like the grape.
Do you like grape?
Yeah.
You're a black guy at heart, bro.
I think so. But I don't like Henny.
You don't like Henny?
No.
Yeah, dude, I bartended this one event, graduation event for a dental student. And we had every single type of liquor. And the only thing that sold was Henny. And I was just like, oh, the stereotypes are real.
That's the worst hangover, dog. I did the Super Bowl, right? And then...
what do you mean you did?
I went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I got to go I had tickets. It was an amazing experience. I took my sister. And then the next week was All-Star Weekend for the NBA All-Star. Yeah. So everyone's like, are you going to All-Star Weekend? I said... I can't do the Super Bowl and then All-Star back-to-back.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, the kids, man, they're dependent on me in the Bay, You gotta
do what you gotta do.
Gotta make a living a little bit. And so I missed out on the All-Star, but it's just like those events, right? It was the Super Bowl and then the All-Star. Performances, just like insane. Vegas, just like Indianapolis.
Yeah. I have a friend who played in the All-Star game, and she's a really good friend, one of my best friends out here. Yeah, her name is Caitlin Ohashi. She was a gymnast.
Really?
Yeah, she played 3 years ago, and crazy experience.
No way. Yeah. That's cool, dude. Is she still a gymnast?
She just does like events and stuff now. She kind of just went viral for doing like her thing.
Yeah.
And then
she found her niche.
Found her niche, bro.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Yeah. Man.
What do you call it? I want to talk about creativity in basketball.
Okay.
Where does the creativity come in? Because not everyone shoots the shot differently. Not everyone does the same plays. Not for coaching wise, like clearly there's some aspect to you different than other coaches that you've talked about, how you keep it real with your, I guess, students or with your clients that you work with. Mm-hmm. But there's some creativity in you that makes them see the game differently, or there is something that they do that is different, therefore it makes them stand out. Like, I don't know, for example, when I see Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving like play, right? Mm-hmm. And they do this crazy layup out of nowhere. I'm just like, how did they see that? You know?
Right.
Or like how you coach and you're seeing it in a different light than someone else would.
I think what it comes down to is when you put in hours that people don't put in, you see different things. It's like Kobe, when Kobe, rest in peace, would go to the gym and shoot shots before the game, after the game, and then cuss dudes out because they were out the night before and not doing their job right. Me, I will go 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I won't stop every single hour. Yeah. So all those other trainers that are good that take their lunch break or do that or do the bare minimum, they're not learning what I'm learning. Yeah. So when I'm there 5 a.m. to 11, which is 15 trainings in a day, I will do.
It's insane,
so
bro.
I'll do 30 in 2 days, right? And so my mind never turns off.
Yeah. How do you stay on?
I do a Celsius at like 6 a.m. Okay. I may hop in a cold plunge and some cold water, and then I'll rock out and drink like 15 glasses of water.
Bro, new studies have shown that a cold plunge is equivalent to like a couple of lines of cocaine. In terms of like what the what it does to your brain
when you get out, but that your body's heating up, so you're cold, so your mind's thinking about that, so that will last me till about like 11 a.m. And then towards like 4 or 5, I start like, I need an energy drink, so I'll do 400 milligrams of caffeine to rock through it. But I'm not on Adderall. I'm not doing anything. Nothing. You know how people take Adderall and they're like, I got this, I got. I'm like,
I've never done it.
Me. I don't know how people are, subscribe. I respect it. Like, if you need it, you need it. But it's just like coffee with Celsius. You drink a Celsius and you go and you hydrate. And the thing is, why I say with my creativity is I'm in there every single hour. I'm in a gym, like this size, and I'm just there with my thoughts, with shooting, with people coming wanting to learn. And I learn new things every hour. And I'll be in that environment and I'll be like, you see this drill I just did or how that? I just tried that. I just learned that right now. Yeah. And they're like, holy shit.
Where do you think that comes from?
I would say my work ethic. 2 torn ACLs, came back from that. I was held back in 3rd grade, so school wasn't easy for me. I was told I wouldn't graduate high school. I graduated college in 3 years. If someone wrote me off, I would do everything I could to prove it wrong. And I already know
why. Because there's a lot of people who would just sit in like, oh, you are stupid. You got
and they'll just deal with it.
Deal with it.
I gotta win.
Yeah,
I have to win.
Competitive.
Right.
Life is competitive.
It is. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, bro, that belief in yourself is like the biggest thing too, right? There's so many people in the world who, like, they have the ability to do great things, but they just don't believe it. Like that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
Like there was something yesterday that I read. It's like people aren't better than you. They just have less insecurity than you have.
It's true.
Like they're like believing in yourself is big, bro.
Yeah. That is true.
It's just like, just do the thing, bro. Just do the thing. Like, if you say you can't do it, you won't be able to do it.
Like, for an example, have you ever seen, like, a really, really, really short guy that's good looking but runs the room? And everyone's bigger than him.
Runs it.
And you may not even know if he's got a mill or what he does. But
Kevin Hart, I've seen it live.
See?
Dude's, like, right here to me, bro. I've like, bartended, like, in areas and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was like, tiniest guy in the room. Most charismatic guy I have seen run a room. Obviously, he has a big name and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I could just tell, like, regardless, he's been like that forever before his fame, this and that. Like, his wife is like 7 inches taller than him in heels. He's like, yo, no, I'm the short king, bro. Yeah. And to see so many people like not confident in like the things that God gave them, like your height or like your beard line, bro, and you're still tripping out about your fucking hairline. Like, you got a great beard, bro. Like, why are you tripping out about your fucking hair?
I newly discovered this beard, dude. I started rocking
Looks good.
it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You got the dark skin,
Thanks,
man.
The
Asian eyes. There's nothing better than that. Asian eyes, dark skin, and brains.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And you got a fucking ton of hair.
The hair's good. Hair's good. I was blessed with that. My dad's like balding though, so I'm just like, oh, we'll see what happens.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, you're 27, you're chilling. This shit's going on. It's hanging down. Like mine, it goes bad on me.
What do you think the most attractive thing is about like guys? Like in terms of, obviously you could respect a guy's like looks and characteristics and this and that. Like when some guy comes in the room, like, oh yeah, he has like
it's just
confidence. Confidence.
Because you could see a guy that's not that good looking, but he if he can run a room and he's smart.
Yeah. What about girls?
Girls, I would say.
Is it purely looks? Because for young Nate, I'm just like, it's purely looks. I'm just like, damn, she's hot. But now I'm just like, yo, I can't have a conversation with you. Like,
I know, dude. I'm shallow too. Like,
I'm not agreeing with the shallow too.
I'm a firm believer that you got to be attracted to like be into them, right? Because it's like if I'm listening to you and I don't like not physically attracted, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, just throughout history though, and through human psychology, like males always are attracted to females based on looks initially.
Okay. That's
right.
just how we were made, even since the times, you know, when the women in the 60s were dressed in their hair, dressed in those long dresses, and they had their hair done and their curls, and they're hopping on the boat.
Like for example, when a girl comes in the room and you're attracted to them initially, what color is it? First thing.
Blonde.
No. Like clothing.
Oh. I mean.
What color? First color, go ahead.
Pink.
Pink. Okay. So like psychologically, it's supposed to be red. Red, pink, similar.
Yeah.
And if you look at human psychology, it's like Adam and Eve, like the apple, right? Like it's the fruit, right? It's the fruit that we're attracted to. It's the color. It's like they are nutritious. Right, like by human psychology over time.
Apple, yeah,
it's ripe fruit. It's what humans are attracted to. Like when you're in nature and you're trying to survive, you're trying to see these types of colors. That's why when you eat, like colorful dishes are attractive. You know.
Well, here's the thing that's bullshit is I was always someone that dressed in bright colors. When my mom got interviewed, so I'm on the show and they called her and they're like, "What's something about Leo we don't know?" And she's like, "He dresses like a highlighter."
Oh.
Because it shows my personality.
I dressed like a highlighter too in high school, bro, but I was colorblind, so they never matched.
This is a year ago. 29 years old, bright as shit. I had a Corvette in COVID.
The blue one.
Yeah, shit was.
It was sexy, bro.
Blue, dog.
Blue, light blue, guys.
Yeah.
I was just like, this man's.
I said,
was it a nice car? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I miss it. But
why?
You know, why do I miss it, or why?
Why do you miss it? Like, dude, I've driven, like, I guess, like, nice sports cars, and the practicality of it's just ass. But I have some...
Right, you're happy your first day you have it, and then the next day you have it, and you're like, all right, I'm valeting this thing. It's expensive.
Yeah, there's that, right?
I could have bought a house. Like, I could have...
But not just that. Like, when I go camping or when I go... to the beach or to I'm just like I can't put a surfboard on this bitch.
No,
like
you don't want to get sand in there.
Don't want to get sand in it. Like you care way too much about it.
But I was a dude with 6'5" with a new C8 Corvette with a blue car, baby blue.
Yeah,
like it just was like I like things that bright up. I like bright colors.
Yeah,
it's just like taking vacations.
Yeah. How fast did you go on that thing?
Oh, I hit 142, 132 one time.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
Dude. I lived a crazy life. Back then,
I think about so I had an RX-8 when I was in high school.
That's a great car.
Mazda.
Yeah,
Mazda RX-8, and I got it to like 125, and I was just like, I could have died. For sure, bro. That's so fast.
Yeah, it's too fast.
So fast.
Now I drive a nice SUV and my Creatine's in there, and we just ride everywhere. And
it's your girl, bro. Yeah, you're a mature man.
Yeah, it's all right, dude. It's murdered out. It's chilling, right? Like it looks like
blacked out.
It's like gray and blacked out, but it's like it looks like a range. It's perfect.
What do you like about having pets, bro?
I would say that they always listen to you. They're always there.
I don't think pets always listen to their owners. I think that's false.
You had a Great Dane.
I did have a Great Dane.
They listen.
Great Danes listen.
They'll look at you. They may not want to listen, but they listen.
They're sweethearts, bro.
Dude, what dog
they're
shows that much affection? They'll just stand there and hang out with you. Like, you could be at a dog park and they're like,
if you guys have never been around Great Danes, they're basically like lap dogs, but they're fucking 200 pounds.
Yeah. And they don't get it. Like, they're slobber. They're
We were
just
talking
there.
about, I was like, Leo, bro, how you doing with that, bro? They stink.
You're the first one to say it like that.
Because no one can relate to having a 200-pound fucking Great Dane, bro.
I know, you know, they do. They stink, bro.
Stink.
Their hair just stinks everything.
Yeah.
Their drool.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah.
But you know what? People got to accept you for you if they're going to kick it with you and you got a Dane.
Have you ever had what the theory of like dogs look like their owners?
What do you mean? Like the dog is their owner?
Like the dog looks like your owner?
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
For sure.
I'm a firm believer on that. Like, you see a girl, like, and she's got a little dog, and
Yeah.
it's like a little Yorkie. You could see her personality with the
Kind of,
Yorkie.
a little bit.
Or if a girl's really cute, kind of tall, and she's got like a nice like golden doodle.
Do you have a good relationship with your dog? Like, do you think you communicate with them? Like,
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better.
yeah.
My dog used to have a lot of anxiety because I had anxiety, so she'd feel it and she'd snap. Like,
What's your definition of anxiety?
like freak out, like quick, like impulse. Like one time when my dog was in heat, I was holding her. I was probably had too much to drink or whatnot, and I'm sitting there holding her like this, and she goes to chase after a dog at the bar, like by the bar, and drags me across the freaking sidewalk.
Yeah.
And so now she's very chill. But
I guess personally for you, what does that mean? Like, what is that? What is anxiety? What does being anxious?
panic. Feel like you're in a panic. Like you can't think about the next thing, and your body's trying to react to it.
Yeah.
So you sit your ass in cold water, and it'll fucking stun you.
Yeah.
Or you're right.
That's another thing
Or
that
you
I've been
work
thinking
out.
about, like anxiety and depression. Like, it's really, I guess, like trite, or I don't know what the right word is. Because if you weren't taught about what anxiety is or what depression is, like, you wouldn't even know what it is. So it wouldn't even exist to you. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So there's so many people who are thinking about, like, oh, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, and like, what does that even mean? You know? And I'm not saying that it's not real and it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, like, if you were never taught it, like,
How would that feeling be?
Yeah, how would that feeling be, and how would you deal with it?
Feeling on edge, right?
Yeah.
Feeling like you don't, like, just confused,
Right?
like a shock to your body, like
Yeah.
being electrocuted.
Yeah. So when people usually say it, I'm just like, oh, you got herpes? Like, it's like a disease. Like, they describe it that way. And I'm just like, okay, like, but what are you doing to fix it? Or this
Right.
and that. And it's just so, like, woe is me type of deal. And, like, a lot of people describe, like, depression as thinking too much in your past, and anxiety is thinking too much in your future, right? And
I agree with that.
it's like, sure,
Live in the moment.
live in the moment, and then maybe it never exists. So I don't know. It's just like
Shit.
thoughts that, like,
Right. Live in the moment. Right. Dude, you
so
be
that was the thing, like the present moment, right? It's like if you're right now, I'm not thinking about anything else besides the words that you're saying and the words that I'm saying. And I have nothing else I'm thinking about, and I can't think about anything in my past or anything in my future right now, and I'm fully living in the moment. And if you could do that all the time, it's like, would you ever experience those feelings that people say what depression is or what anxiety is? Maybe not. It's just like a mind. It's
But
like,
if you're living in the moment, you're living in what you're feeling at that time,
Yeah.
and how your body's feeling and how your mind's going. But then if you didn't live in that moment and you thought, okay, this is how my body's feeling, but let's think 15 minutes down the line, and you have severe anxiety, you're thinking about probably even worse stuff. You know?
yeah. What are you most excited for in your life right now, bro? Like, you've kind of built this brand of coaching, and you kind of are at a spot where not necessarily super comfortable, but like comfortable enough to like do the things that you like, enjoy Los Angeles. Like, you've kind of like
Yeah.
enjoying your lifestyle of like working in San Francisco and having your life in LA.
Yeah,
And like,
it's nice.
and it's you're not starving for your next dollar, X, Y, and Z type of deal. Like, what excites you? What are you most excited for?
I just want to keep helping every player.
Yeah.
Every week I want to grow myself. I want to grow internally, and I want to grow and help as many players as I can. You know, I want to, when someone is not shooting well, I want to be that first call.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I also want a family, and I want that life for sure, you know. But right now, I think where I'm at is I'm just chasing what has been loyal to me since the beginning. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I have a lot of things to offer in life, and you know, you can be comfortable, but it still puts you at a situation where you got to keep going for more.
What's the greatest advice that you ever had?
Man, that's tough. Prove the haters wrong.
Why is that the greatest piece of advice?
Because opinion that hurts your heart, you can't let it get to you. You got to keep going because it stings, and it may not want you to keep pushing forward, but once you get through that, it feels even better at the end.
Mm-hmm. Who's the GOAT of basketball?
Oh, I would say Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Dennis Rodman, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Steph Curry. I'm going with those.
All of them.
Yeah.
Not one. Dude, The Last Dance was something that I watched a lot. Like, I don't watch much TV. I don't watch documentaries much, but that was something that was super inspiring.
I know.
In the sense of just, like, pure work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not a lot of people who do something 100%. Like, I don't think I do something 100%. Like, I might do it 90.
Yeah, for sure.
You
like
know?
me, I do it, probably 80 because I don't work during the week. So,
Yeah.
But I do. I watch film and stuff. But yeah,
Sure.
right. It's if you do something 100%, you'll go crazy.
Like, a lot of people say, like, 100%. And I'm just like, no, you don't. Like, you go out on weekends.
Right.
You have a balanced life. You do this and that. But no, 100% people are obsessed. Like, fully, that's what encapsulates their whole entire life.
And there's times you can be 100% in your craft.
100%. Yeah.
And there's times where you can be balancing your life to help your mind take your craft to another level because your mind is refreshed.
What do you think is better? Do you think a balanced life or being obsessed 100% is more beneficial?
Balanced.
Why?
Because it soothes your mind. It takes your mind to different places. Because here's the thing, if you go something into 100%, you're going to get burned out. Your body's going to break down. Your mind's going to break down. And it's hard. Think about athletes that went too far in and didn't make it. Right? Like, it's hard. It's because your body eventually breaks down. That's why people have to retire. And so I think that soothing your mind with other things replenishes it to make you go back into all in. Because I'm telling you, I've done where I've gone in 100% for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, whoa.
What does that look like? What do you mean by 100% for 2 weeks?
I'd say going 100% in for 2 weeks is I'll do all my trainings that I told you about, and then I'll hop on a plane and I'll train, then I'll get back. So I would say this next week and a half, I will go 100% in. I will go Friday to Sunday, and then I will hop on a plane on Monday, and I will get North Carolina. I will train the moment I land at 10 p.m. a player. Then I'll sleep, and then I'll go and I'll drive, and I'll train more players in the NBA, G League, NBA. And then I'll go train another player, and I may have dinner with my mom, so that may be 98%, and then I'll come back. So that's all in.
Yeah, it's all in.
It's all in.
Yeah.
But I space it out, right? So I can do nice things like this that I'm doing to soothe my mind.
And you don't think being totally obsessed 100% all the time is beneficial because you're eventually going to burn out.
Yeah, you burn out. And you got to find things that help you not burn out.
Yeah.
Like cold plunge, like journaling, like meal prepping, like having a drink every now and then, you know?
Yeah.
Things like that, balance.
Yeah.
Or else you'll go stir crazy.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if do you think about dying at all?
Yeah, 100%.
I think about it a lot, and I'm just like,
you never know, dude.
Huh?
You never know.
You never know. You never know. Like, I have a lot of friends I don't have a lot. I have a few friends, a few people I've known who've, like, passed away unexpectedly. And I'm just like, okay, if I did what I did today, would I be happy with it? And the answer most days is yes, but also it's like a lot of the time I'm like, you should be enjoying it a little bit more. Like, you should be balanced a little bit more. Like, you shouldn't be focused on work 100% of the time. Like, you shouldn't be enjoying your relationships and the things. Like, I've really been thinking about relationships in general. The quality of your relationships determine your quality of life, in the sense of your the quality of relationships with your friends, quality of relationships with your family, the quality of relationships with technology, with food, like those things. Like if your relationships are balanced out, like you will have a great quality of life.
True, but I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I have people that I'm cool with, you know, but like I'm in such a grind that I don't have that many friends.
Yeah.
Like
But the ones that you have.
Right, but like you said, I have a relationship with food.
Yeah.
I have a relationship with a workout. I have a relationship with my dog. I have a relationship with my family.
Yeah.
And I have a relationship with boys that I stay in touch with, but it's not like, you know, how some friend groups in LA, you go and you hang out and you go Friday through Saturday or Sunday and you just kick it.
Yeah.
And do different things. Your mind, it's good. It soothes your mind. But you got to go back to something else. I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know if the whole social place is the most beneficial, like those relationships. Because there's a lot of happy people who have little friends.
Right, and you're being happy in that moment because it's a group. You know,
I don't even know happy is the right word. Maybe fulfilled. Maybe the void.
You're in the moment.
Maybe the void is filled.
Yeah.
The space is taken.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Time is going by and the space is
by.
taken, and whatever those people are going through at the time, they're not worrying about it because they're enjoying the moment. And I agree and I get that. Yeah. But life goes fast. Yeah. And it's just all what you want.
Yeah, dude. That's something I've been
thinking about. Some people
aren't
perfectionists at their craft. You know? Some people don't have that role.
Yeah. I don't vibe with those people.
That was pretty.
Can't relate, bro. I kind of made that like important to myself. I was like, I don't know if this is disrespectful or rude. I was like, I just don't want to hang out with people who aren't passionate about what they do, or who don't like the way you talk about basketball, bro. I'm just like, I want to understand it. I want to know more because like,
and I want to hear about your sandal stories and freaking going and hiking and your mile runs and 100%. Your kettlebells. You know?
Yeah, it's because like there's some respect that you have for someone else who pays those attention points to something else that is not what you pay to those attention points for.
Do you remember when we did our workout together and your ass did 50 RDLs? You're like, and I'm like, dude, how do you do this?
Leo was like, bro, you do these a good amount, right?
And then I did the kettlebell swings, remember? Or what was I doing? The
snatches.
Snatches. I'm throwing it. Catch. And this guy comes by and he's like, you're not touching the ground. You're not touching the ground. And Nate, you're just like.
Leo was frustrated. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Like, dude, give me credit.
I was hot, wasn't I?
I was like, damn, he's actually mad.
That was bullshit. That guy, bro. Those events are funny, man.
Oh, so we're talking about fitness events, and LA has a good amount of them, and it's basically you either get free merch, you get like some benefit out of it, post,
yeah,
you get good photos,
nice workout,
and
meet people like this,
meet people like this, but Leo just didn't have a great experience.
No, I did just on the snatches, dude. Like
the snatches.
Yeah, but the fitness events bring people together.
They do. They're beneficial overall. And
you get a hell of a workout in because you're like, there's a camera in my face.
Yeah. And most of the people are grinding in whatever they're doing. You know.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, bro.
Dude, thanks.
This was
for
a blast.
Where
can everyone find you? Where if there's some basketball players out there, which I don't know if there are, and they want to train with you, where can they find you?
My Instagram, LJ_Svete, Nation's shooting specialist trainer.
Go check them out, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate, for having me.
Yeah.
And it's amazing hearing your story, dude.
It's a blast, bro.
Yep.
Go check them out, guys. And if you want to learn how to shoot a basketball, hit
or
Leo
any life lessons.
Any life lessons. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Yep.
Peace.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning back into the Nate Biltz podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Leo. If you have not yet checked out his page, he is really helping elevate the game of basketball, and it's cool to see and know and watch and experience. Also, if you could do me a favor, if you received any value out of this episode, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Pressing that little button will help me do just that.